every time.
We need to talk about
We have to talk about library wars,
and then we don't. Oh.
And we never fucking do.
What up, guys? We're
Hi,
in the Anime Association, and the three of us, it's not all of the Anime Association, but the three of us are here. We will be imbibing alcohol.
Yes, a lot of it, maybe. I don't know.
It's going to be a good time. And also talking about library wars, apparently.
Yes, that is the entire purpose of this live stream.
We're finally going to talk about it. Boiled over and just needed to talk about it publicly in a public forum.
I mean, Allie, how many weeks have we been waiting to talk about this? Like 2 months?
Been like 2 months.
We keep forgetting every time we record.
Every time we know that we're going to be in a podcast together, I'm just like random. We need to talk about it.
And then we just don't.
Seriously, I love all the characters. I don't hate any of them, which is a big deal.
It's just the best. And shout out to Discotech, because they actually they licensed it, so you can buy it if you want for about $20.
When I heard that news, I was like, God has came. He came down from heaven and he's here. It's like some nerve shit.
I mean...
Well, no, it's God's right. God's in heaven and all is right with the world. Yeah. I'm fucking it up.
That's about close enough. We knew what you meant.
That's about as close as dubs get, right?
Could be worse because it could be pickles. Everything could be pickles.
All right, I'm gonna start drinking now. I actually haven't even started yet.
Yeah, I'm about to have to do my first beer.
I poured this shot an hour ago. I'm not actually gonna take the whole thing, but like.
Fucking slacker, yo.
Well, when we were deciding on a time, I had poured the shot right before the message came up of like, when do you guys want to start? And everyone was like, all right, how about around 11? And I was like, I'll just save it then. So it's been sitting on my table.
Allie, that's alcohol abuse.
We call this pre-gaming.
Mm-hmm, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's alcohol abuse, man. You just left it over there, unattended, for an hour.
That's some criminal shit.
Okay, like...
That's fucked up, Allie. That's just fucked up.
I don't like to pregame without other people, and you guys, like, this feels like my pregaming. This is our party. I'm already here.
Nice.
Sure, that works.
That makes total sense. Alright, so I've been watching anime recently, and I'm almost done with Higurashi. I think I'm in, like, the second to last arc. And
okay, so you're getting to the point where it's good.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, better.
It's okay. It's definitely okay, and definitely one of the better Dean shows. I don't get why people call it a horror, because nothing about it feels unsettling or
the animation of the dub.
See, I'm watching it subbed. That's why.
Neither of the dubs are very good. The Japanese dub is not much better than the English dub, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I can tolerate Japanese girls that sound like they're 10, as opposed to American women that are trying to portray Japanese girls that are 10 but sounding like they're 30.
And trying to be hip with the kids, right?
It's easier to stomach. Yeah. This is 2009 again. It's just a dub versus sub argument all over.
Is Higurashi from 2009, or is it even farther?
I have no fucking idea. But that's when I remember that argument.
Something like that.
That's when I remember that argument being like the big fucking thing. Like everybody's making a big deal of dub versus sub. Now I don't see it that much anymore, so I'm bringing it back.
I just don't care. When I don't care about a show, like for watching it at all, I will watch it in a dub, because that means that if I'm watching it on a computer, I can tab out and just listen to it and not lose the plot. But if I actually want to sit down and take my time with a show, I'll watch it in the sub.
Allie, but if they're boobs, you are missing the plot. If you're
sometimes I just like think.
Did you not watch my video where I complained about tabbing away from things?
I did, and I loved it. But sometimes I don't have an attention span.
Oh, like
which means like I'll be sitting there watching something and I need to tab over and just like scroll for a second.
Allie, I don't know anything about your attention span. I'm not familiar with it at all. I don't know what you're referring to. You're always so on topic and you remember everything.
Like fuck you.
Oh, I know.
So go ahead, because
we're getting personal.
Wanting to talk about library wars for a while.
Well, the
I don't
problem
even
is
know
that
what to say because
Yeah,
like we just
that's the
always
problem.
scream about how much we love it, and
yeah,
that's
it's really fun and it's really cute, but at the same time, it has an excellent
okay.
plot.
If
The
you're a
characters are
nerd and you
fun.
like to read, and like you're against censorship, then watch this, and it's fun because the main character is she's fun.
Mm-hmm.
She's
She
just
is.
fun,
All right.
and
How,
the other
how
characters
does it
are cool.
how does it measure up against Read or Die?
I haven't watched the TV series for Read or
Okay, I
Die,
haven't seen
so
it.
I don't have a reference point for that. For the OVAs, I'd say that the Read or Die OVAs are better, but that's because they're more action oriented as opposed to Library War is more. It focuses more on the actual defending of the books themselves and the character interactions thereof.
Yeah, it's like
It-
literally like the Library Defense Force is an army, and then there's
Mhm.
like the other people that are about
are an army?
censorship who are an army, and they just fight. Like
They literally
it
shoot
doesn't
each
make
other.
any sense because like there's these warring factions in the middle of Japan.
About
Where
books.
like Japan has no fucking say in it. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
It's
no,
just
Japan
fun.
has a say in it because they made both the organizations.
True.
So it's their fault.
It's like some weird civil war. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but I
Just
love
the
it.
moral of the story is reading is fundamental, and that's just it.
Yes.
It's like fucking reading
okay,
Rainbow
like the
Road.
background is that the main character joins because she was in a bookstore and like it got raided and she was just trying to buy a book and like this dude comes in and he saves her. It's a total shoujo. Like,
It's a shoujo setup. It's hilarious.
and he saves her and she's like, "Oh my god, it's my prince. I got to join and do this shit." And so she does. And then little does she know, it's a known fact, so this isn't a spoiler, but like the dude that saves her, her prince is her instructor, and he knows it, but she doesn't. So you have that whole aspect, and it's just funny. The side stories are really interesting. The side characters are good. Her roommate's great. I don't remember her name.
I don't either, but she's fantastic. Like she's
Yeah,
totally,
she's absolutely fantastic.
the roommate's a total girly girl, and
But
the
she's smart as fuck. Like she can cut.
yeah, oh yeah, exactly. She'll cut a bitch, and then the main character is like this super tall, super not girly girl, and it's really funny. It's wonderful. It's also one of the few production IG.
Hey, I'm gonna link us
series.
so Sarah can hop in. Hey, 42 Believers gonna hop in here, guys.
Oh shit!
Golly.
Is this the day after her 21st?
yes.
Also, she better be hungover as fuck.
She better be
She's
drinking
fucking
more.
Drinking.
Yeah, like I would straight up make her a Midori sour. I'd make all of
She
you
just
Midori
said
sours.
like, "Yo, how do I get in on this?" So she'll be coming in here. I gave her the link.
That'll be fun.
I
don't
hope
think I've
the
ever
link
talked to Sarah.
works. That's
Like-
my homie. We might just like end up hijacking this because we talk a lot.
Well, I did see that you had a Snapchat moment earlier today on Twitter.
It was a beautiful Snapchat, but I can't discuss the details of the Snapchat, but it was beautiful. I'll just let the internet know that it was really beautiful. It was the greatest reason I've ever had anyone to tweet me to check my social media.
Wait, do you mean she used her social media to tell you to check your social media? is what I'm gathering here. We're having a social
It's a
media
little
inception
redundant.
moment.
There's like social media and yeah.
Oh, it just occurred to me I can't see the comments.
Yeah, no, I haven't been looking.
I didn't set up the feed.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
tweeted
ignoring
out
you
the
guys.
link. So if y'all want to keep an eye, like I
You
have.
know, like, I don't think anyone understands that it was not even a transition for me and Random. We just kept talking as we were
Yep.
before
Yeah,
it went live.
exactly.
I just fucking ambushed them with live
Yeah.
internet.
Yo, bitch, we live. Like, whoa, what? Excuse me?
There are 15 people watching us. We're doing
I mean, I guess it's a good thing my pants were on at least. Like,
You're wearing
They're
pants,
gonna be
fucking
background
blood.
music.
I am wearing pants, as it happens. I had to leave my house today, so...
I apparently
love my
missed the
house.
entire point.
Oh yeah, the point of my rant,
Oh. Okay.
Higurashi, yes.
which that rant was fun.
Comments are
Like,
cool.
seeing people react to it and just get like, oh, either to give me props for what I say, which is kind of bullshit, or to criticize it, which is even better. That was the best. I don't know. I had a good time with that. Dakota isn't showing up.
Yeah, I was going
He
to say
has
in
to be
chat,
up at 5:30.
exactly, Broski can't make it, which is very
He was
sad.
supposed to be here, but it didn't work.
He's here in spirit, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
here
here
in our spirits. There you go.
I'm doing an
I
extra
shouldn't have been
drink
there.
for Broski.
Yeah, I'm drinking extra. Like, all right, I originally thought I only
Man, this
had
is so
one
like
beer left in my house, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be the
pesto.
sober guy. And then Broski said that he couldn't make it, so I found more booze lying around my house, so I'm gonna be drinking that.
This is so girly. Like, it makes it look like I actually.
Don't worry. Don't
Yeah,
worry,
white
Alan.
girl
I'm
wasted.
not for
I
gender
brought bitch beer.
jokes, but
I brought
like,
bitch beer. I got you covered.
what is bitch beer?
Mike's hard.
Oh,
lemonade.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. Oh, I like that.
I'm clearing out my fridge because I have alcohol in my fridge that I need to drink. It's just been sitting there. It's very sad.
Isn't
it
it
was
the
lonely.
same alcohol that's been there since Expo?
No, it's different alcohol. I poured out the remaining 2 beers long ago because those things I was just never gonna drink them.
You know, I had a Bud Light sitting in my fridge for months, and I didn't realize that it had been sitting there for as long as it did until I drank it. And I was like, man, I can tell that this is better.
That's a bad time.
Yeah, Bud Light you have to drink like the moment you get the 30 rack,
it
or
was
it's
so
just not a good
gross.
idea.
Yeah, it was fucking Bud Light. Oh, I hate it.
Hi, Sarah. Are you hungover?
What's up, Sarah?
I can't hear you.
We
I
can't.
can't hear her either.
We have no contact from Sarah yet. She's that hungover.
Hello?
There we
Hey,
go.
we got
you.
Hi.
It wasn't my speaker settings weren't working. Come on. Work, damn it.
There you
So,
go.
how was your birthday, girl? How was your birthday?
It was pretty good. I don't remember like the second half of it.
Good.
As it should
What
be.
happened with your
As it should
Snapchat
be.
game though with those fucking drinks? I was
Yeah.
amused. And it made my night.
What'd you
like, the
drink
thing is
last
that,
night,
like-
Sarah?
Huh?
What'd you drink last night, Sarah?
Lots of angry balls.
Angry balls.
Okay.
That's the drink. It's a shot of Fireball mixed with an Angry Orchard, and it tastes like a cinnamon pie.
You mean your Angry
okay.
fucking Orchard? I'm not
Hey,
a Reds
hey.
or an Angry Orchard person. Oh my god.
Reppin'. What?
I can drink like one fucking hard cider and I'm done. And then I have to switch. I can't.
Oh, no, that's why I have mics for the other 2.
Weak.
Nah,
Weak,
I'm a
Allie.
guy. That's all I can do.
I'm not weak. It just becomes too sweet.
This is
Speaking
not
of
that
too sweet.
I
Speaking
mean,
of too
this
sweet,
is too
I
sweet.
had not.
This is fucking vodka. Like,
I had not your father's root beer yesterday.
How was it?
That was. All right. I don't like root beer, and it was a pretty good root beer, so I'll say that much. I did
Nice.
not taste any alcohol in it.
oh, I've
Just
had that
disappointing.
before. It was pretty good, and I'm not a person that likes root beer either. So.
And the entire time I'm drinking it, like the people I was hanging out with were giving me shit for purchasing that because they're all hardcore like craft beer snobs, bastards.
Craft beer.
I
stuff.
mean,
Oh.
where I'm from, there's like 5 microbreweries. So, I mean, whatever.
I know like 20-year-old craft beer snobs, and I'm like, the hell are you doing?
You're 20. Shut
yeah,
the fuck
like
up
you're
and drink more
too
Bud
young.
Light. Drink more Bud Light, you piece of shit. Be like
yeah,
me.
like, hey, I'm fine with my shitty PBR. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
will defend PBR in an argument, like, over which beer is, like, better. like, I will do it.
I have drank more Keystone Light than any craft
Miller
beer.
High Life is something
Oh,
else.
God, we're going down the bad route.
No, see,
That
here's
We've
the
is-
thing
had
with
this
Miller High
discussion
Life.
before.
Here's the thing with Miller High Life. It is great for cooking chicken. It is a great beer to cook a chicken with. What you do is you're gonna barbecue a whole chicken. So what you do is you season it with just salt and pepper, and then what you do is you shove the Miller High Life
Up its ass,
into
right?
the chicken's ass.
Yeah.
Then you just cook it, and it's fucking great. 10 out of 10. I love beer chicken.
I love beer chicken.
Hey,
Yeah.
I spent 3 years living on the Florida-Georgia line. So, like, comfort food, I got that.
Okay, like, you know what's really fucked up is, like, I've spent most of my life living in the South, and I have never been a person that's taken to Southern food. Like, I can't cook. I had some friends stay over the other night, and they, like, my friend Scott just started screaming at me. He was like, "Do you not have any food in your house?" And I was like, "No, I don't." He was like, "When was the last time you went grocery shopping?" I was like 3 weeks ago. he was like,
Shit.
why?
Allie, how is that possible? I go grocery shopping every week and I barely cook.
Because I literally don't cook and I only buy things like so.
Ali
I can
subsists entirely on vodka.
Vodka, photosynthesis. Those two things.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But he bought food and he was like, I washed your dishes for you too. And I was like, you are a god. Like, I might not cook, but my dishes get dirty so fast.
All right,
he
I
was
want to
like,
hear more about Sarah's 21st.
Yes.
Yes.
So, what we ended up doing was went up to my cousin Leslie, and like all my cousins, I'm like the baby in the family, so I was the last grandchild to turn 21, and I'm like, Leslie, it's my 21st birthday, let's do something, like let's go out and get me drunk, basically. And she's like, okay, well, when's your birthday? And my birthday was on this past Tuesday, so like, you can't go on a Tuesday, like, I got work in the morning and shit.
Got
Like, I got
responsibilities.
I know, I'm an adult or something.
That's no fun.
Well, it was pretty fun because we just went out on the Friday instead. So we went out to Olive Garden.
True.
We went out to Olive Garden first to eat dinner. I got an enormous food baby,
Mm.
and
Good
then
call.
my cousin Katie was opening. It was like her premiere show for her new band, and we went to go watch her play at some bar in like the really skeevy side of Columbus. And there was like no one there, and once they finished doing their set and like the other band went up, like the entire bar died because our huge group of people just left.
Bailed.
It was like we were here to
That's
support
so
Katie.
funny. That's so funny. I love it when that happens.
And she's like-
It's so interesting socially.
Because Katie is like such a musician, she feels obligated to like, you know, stay and like support the other band for a little while, and she could only stay for one song. Because she's a really good performer. Like, I'm not just, you know, spitballing because she's my cousin. She's really good. She can play guitar,
I've
she can
seen
play drums.
Snapchats of her cousin. She's great.
Oh my god, Katie's amazing. And she's like a god. I'm like, teach me how you do. Because what the fuck?
I don't understand how she plays the guitar that good.
She's just been working it for years now. So we what we did, we supported her, and then we went out and bar hopping back in town, and they got me really drunk. And there was a point when my phone literally died, and I'm like, I want to like drunk tweet things to people, but my phone is dead.
That was disappointing.
I was
Yeah,
waiting for that.
I'm just
I
sitting by
was.
my phone drunk, wondering, when the fuck is Sarah going to start tweeting those things she promised me?
I mean, there were
You promised drunk tweeting.
I did drunk tweet. I just didn't drunk tweet as much as I wanted to.
That's a shame.
Don't worry. Once my copyright strike is resolved, I'm gonna have drunk live streams, and you're all invited.
Yeah.
Excellent. Did you not mix your liquors at least?
See, yes.
I hear an asterisk in your
Yeah,
voice.
I'm ready for this. Like, what did you do? Let's hear it. How bad was it? Did you throw up? Let's
I
hear
didn't
it.
throw up. Actually, I was really okay. Like in the morning, I did not have a hangover. I was like,
Ooh,
fuck
that's
yes.
good though.
Well, it was because before I went to bed, my cousin made me drink a whole thing of water and two
Smart.
Excedrin migraines.
Oh, then you're good. She
Yeah.
was looking out for you.
She's such a good cousin. I'm like, thank you, Leslie. She taught me how to do my makeup when I was young, and she's hot. She knows her stuff.
God, your cousin's a better person than my roommate.
You just called your cousin hot, and I was like, yo.
This is getting too Japanese. We're getting too
No.
deep. We gotta shut
Oh
it
my
down.
god, you guys are so filthy.
Everywhere.
Fuck you all. No, but there were some fun Snapchats today, right, Allie?
Oh,
Right?
yes. Oh, yes.
You guys, like, I don't think Allie and I have talked about this. People don't realize how close Allie and I are. Like, Allie and I
Snapchatted me peeing. Like, we're there.
like, it's a thing.
it's
Allie
a
and I
thing.
are really.
I got
close.
her a job. Like,
Yeah, you did. You helped me get that job. I'm so thankful.
Hashtag blessed.
I was like, Allie, I need to put down a reference. Can I put you down as a reference?
I was like, fuck yeah, I'll talk to a boss lady. And so I did.
It was great. I was like,
And I got her a job. Because I was the most professional looking reference, and I have no idea how that was possible.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, I'm not
Good times.
professional.
Well, you can now put that on your resume, Allie. Professional reference.
I'm a professional reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you down as
I
a
can
reference
get
for sure.
tired.
This is gonna be a good time.
When you tweeted me to check my Snapchat, like the funny thing was I had been looking at my phone as like I was getting the Snapchats, and I was like, I'll know if this is important like soon enough because she'll either text me or she'll let me know on a different form of social media to check it right now.
Yeah, well, like, I had, like...
And then you did, and I was like, oh my god, I know her so well.
I was like, all right, I Skyped her, I Snapchatted her, and she's not replying to anything. I need to tweet at her. I'm going to tweet at her right now. And I'm like, she needs to see this now, and I needed to hear her reaction right now.
When people tweet at me, I think it's a lot more serious than it actually is. Like, I don't know, like, out of, like, the things to message me on in order to get a faster response, if people tweet things at me, I will be more likely to check it faster.
Yeah.
For some reason, there are a few tweets that always get, like, lost and I don't see for, like, 4 hours, but for the most part.
I just like Twitter. It's so easy. Like, I remember starting doing the whole, like, social media gambit of, like, you must have Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff.
I fucking hate Instagram.
Man, but I hated Twitter, but I love Twitter now. Twitter's my favorite.
You know, I used to hate Twitter, but for some reason, I just cannot get into Instagram and I hate it. Like, I really don't like it. As an app, it just feels so clunky to me. I hate it.
Yeah, it turned to shit once they got bought out.
Who bought them?
Twitter, right?
No, it wasn't Twitter. I think it was.
It would have been really
Facebook.
funny if it was
Oh,
Twitter.
Facebook bought them. That makes sense.
Yeah, because before they were sharing their API with Twitter, and then they got bought out.
That explains it.
Fucking Facebook.
But yeah, every time it was like my cousin would walk into a bar and you know, they're all so loud and they're like, "Happy 21st birthday!"
Oh, yep,
in
good
front of
call
the
on her
entire
part.
bar, and everyone in the bar is like, "Hey, let me
buy your drink, right?
Yeah.
That weird camaraderie of drunk people when they're all gathered in one place. It's one of my favorite things to witness as a human. Like, it's so cool.
Sarah, that literally sounds like my 21st birthday.
Really?
We walked into we only did one bar because I lived in a small town, so it didn't really work.
Small town for the
Like very
that
small,
feels.
like 25,000 people was the largest town for miles. Small town. So yeah, we walked into the bar and one of my friends is like, "Hey, happy 21st!" And the entire bar is like, "We're buying him drinks."
Yes, we're all gonna witness this alcohol virgin not really get drunk.
Well, I was not an alcohol virgin by any standard.
Oh, neither was I.
Yeah, so I had every kind of alcohol imaginable, and that did not end well for me.
See, you know what's really sad is that, like, I wish you guys would have, like, been doing this, like, last night, because I literally had half a bottle of Kahlua that I finished.
I was more fun as a drunk person last night.
Well, I was working last night, so... Yeah,
I
think
was drinking
Lewis.
last night. I was busy playing, like, Nintendo World Cup 92. Best video game ever.
Nice.
The soccer game where it's like little fat dudes with superpowers beating the shit out of each other. Fucking love that game.
Isn't that your superstar save point pick?
Hell yeah.
If I recall, ask.fm.
Yeah, dude. For sure. One day, man. That's the dream.
You know what game I used to really love from when I was younger? The fucking Harry Potter Quidditch game for the PlayStation 2.
I've heard that from a ton of people, actually.
You know, like, that was my favorite fucking video game for the longest time, and there will never be anything like it. I had so much fun with that game. Like, I played the fuck out of that game. I think that's the only other game that I put that much time into other than, like, Animal Crossing, which is stupid, but it's me.
I mean, if we're talking about time spent in video games in our youth, Phantasy Star Online, I probably logged like 150 plus hours.
Well, okay, I played World of Warcraft for like 6 years. So.
Phantasy Star Online is not actually an MMO. It just sounds like it's an MMO.
Sounds like
It
an
sounds
MMO.
like it's an MMO. See, for me, it was because we were just filthy Nintendo fags in my house, and so
Filthy Nintendo fags.
It's true.
Nintendo fags, if you will.
Yes. So my brothers controlled all the video games that were bought because they were the ones that were older than me because I had 3 older brothers. And we played a fuck ton of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda was just everything. That and SimCity.
See, I played Zelda.
For the NES.
I played Zelda and I loved it, but
Mhm.
I didn't have like that older presence in the house because while I had older brothers, they were gone by the time I was like coming up and shit like that. So I didn't get a chance to like have that influence of these video games of like playing video games as someone who like already did it, and I could just be like, oh my god, you're so good at these video games, wow, show me.
Well, see, I used to just watch them play because I was just so enamored.
Exactly,
of what was
like I never
going
had
on.
that because when
Like hours
you're
of just
watching
fishing.
people play, yeah.
Anyone else do hours of fishing in Ocarina at a time? Because I sure did.
Yeah, I did. That was good times.
The fishing hole. It was like, I need to get the 21-pounder, and I need to do the Easter egg where I hook the fishing pole on the guy's hat. And he gets angry at you.
Yeah, I think it was from watching my cousin that I liked Animal Crossing so much because I think I went over to like their house when I was a kid and he was just playing like Animal Crossing and I thought it was the coolest shit ever. So like the second that I was able to get it, like I just played the fuck out of Animal Crossing. Like it was so weird. And I played a shit ton of Kingdom Hearts too.
I played a lot of Harvest Moon. I was the other side of the Animal Crossing coin.
I was never one for Harvest Moon, but a good friend of mine was, and we realized that there is totally a camp. Like it's a camp.
Well, the thing is, I'm now playing Stardew Valley, which is both, and I love it.
Yo, I heard that there's
I haven't played that.
I haven't played Stardew Valley, but I heard there's a Pokemon mod for it. Now I kind of want to play it.
There's a Pokemon mod for it to make all the animals Pokemon, and then there's also an anime portrait mod to make all the characters' portraits anime.
Oh my god.
So,
I love the internet.
and those are actually really easy to install mods because they're just file swaps. They're not actual like API messes. So, anyway.
I have a mod on Skyrim that plays What You Say When You Die.
How do I know that that's exactly where it was going the second you started talking?
I mean, you should do the Macho Man Randy Savage mod.
It's probably because I follow you on Tumblr, so I know the second you started, like, it's gonna be an what you say thing.
Also, that is an amazing mod. Oh my god.
I really like the water texture overhaul mods in Skyrim. Those are really nice. And the ethereal elven ones because the elvens look like shit.
Yeah, I've never played Skyrim.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
You will get sucked in.
Yeah, I got it when it first released.
It's a world that I've stayed out of on purpose.
Yeah. I lost 5 months of my life. I don't know where they went. They're just gone.
They were running across that big ass map.
Well, even fast traveling. Like I spent 5 months in Skyrim.
Skyrim's addicting.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
Because I remember I think one thing I don't like about Skyrim is that I think it's easier than say Oblivion. I think Oblivion was harder.
Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I put just as much time into both, and yeah, I agree. Oblivion.
See, for only having played a little bit of each, like, I will agree that Oblivion was even harder from what I've played of both.
I think Oblivion's harder just because it's a little bit jankier, and the skill curve's a little bit higher, but it plateaus a lot faster than Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, plus I think the main thing for me that like psychologically is that everywhere you go, no matter what happens in the game, like, and you're talking to someone for the first time, they're like, have you heard about Kvatch? And so like you feel obligated to go, but Kvatch is pretty fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time you do it, unless you're leveled up a crap ton, it's really, really hard. And I'm like, kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this.
Sarah, have you seen the little clip of the Hunter x Hunter dub?
Someone linked me to it, but I haven't watched it yet because I jumped on with you guys. So someone link me right now.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch it because I heard that like Matt Mercer's playing Leorio, which I think is kind of funny.
Is Hisoka as creepy as he needs to be?
Man, I'm behind on the
it's licensed and getting dubbed. Like
Hisoka has to be on the fucking news. I knew it got licensed. I didn't know it was getting a dub.
Hisoka has to be super fucking creepy, or it's just not gonna be right.
Viz Media.
They're probably gonna have fucking like Todd Habercorn do it.
No, it's someone named Keith.
Bryce. Have Pappenbrook do it.
No.
They would.
Or Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be Johnny.
Okay, so story time with Sarah. This was Anime Boston 2 years
Oh, I know
ago.
the story.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we were watching the Attack on Titan dub premiere, and they had not announced who they were having play Eren. They were announcing it as like right before they screened the first 2 episodes, and and we're all seated down. Which, by the way, that whole seating situation with that was really bullshit because a ton of people didn't get up and leave because they had a room clear scheduled, and like 3/4 of the room refused to leave, and there was like a huge ass line outside that was like all waiting at the con, couldn't get in, like get into that panel, couldn't get in, and they had to add a panel the next day that showed the first 5 episodes for those people because they just could not get inside.
Wow.
It was bullshit, and they it's like, okay, now we're gonna have a special message from the voice actor of Eren Yeager, and fucking Bryce Papenbrook's smug mug appears on screen. I physically get up out of my chair and go, no! Like, I'm sure everyone around me was like, what the fuck is this bitch on? But like horror nightmares from Aiken kept flooding back into my mind. Because he plays the main character in Aiken who gets boobs shoved to his face every day. And I'm
Wait,
like,
hold
oh.
on. Aiken has a dub.
Yes. Aiken has a very, very shitty dub. And Bryce
I did not
Papenbrook
know
is
this.
the main character.
I'm gonna
Oh my
fucking watch
God.
that tonight. That's gonna be great.
I stood up, physically stood up, and was like, no! I'm like, that's so dumb. Why would you hire him? He's so bad.
Sarah, have you heard the story of the Zanki no Terror premiere at AX?
No, tell me.
Oh my God! So we all have to line up like forever before it.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally get in, and we're like, first off, shout out to Erin, Happily Erin. She's a fucking trooper. She literally stood at the front of the line, and totally jacked us all front of the line seats. So shout out to Erin.
yeah.
She's the best.
Aaron's just a gift.
Yeah, like, oh my God. So shout out to her. So we get in, and we're seated, and they're like, and here's the first episode of Zanki no Terror. And the file's corrupted on the PlayStation they're using to play it. So, like, there's a small revolt. They're like, hold on, let's try this again. They try it again, it's still corrupted. So meanwhile, they had 2 screening rooms for this. The second screening room is already watching it. So they actually run over to that screening room and get the copy so we can watch it.
Oh wait, no. Sorry.
So they had a corrupted copy. We couldn't watch it for the first, like, 10 minutes, and there was a mild revolt.
Wow.
Well, another thing that bothered me about the Anime Boston screaming is the amount of Tumblr in the fucking room.
Oh, God.
Levi, the first episode of Attack on Titan, like, Levi appears for literally 0.5 seconds.
And the moisture level in the room tripled?
Oh no, I can
so
just
many
imagine
girls screaming.
screaming.
They're screaming their lungs off, and I'm like, shut up, we're here to watch the dub, and I cannot
Okay,
anything going on because you're screaming.
I get like secondhand embarrassment from con stuff when people like that kind of shit, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I feel like my skin wants to physically remove itself from my body by how much you are bothering me with what you're saying right now. Like, it is so. It's making me so anxious, like, because it's so, like, socially, like, weird.
But
I just get so...
You need to understand, we are weeaboos. This is normal.
I know, but, like, I just love
There's a
weeaboos.
level, man. There's a level where you just spaghetti out, and I'm like, nope, this person has spaghettied. I must walk away.
Exactly. Like, I'm totally supportive of people that, like, honestly have a hard time just, like, talking to people socially, but, like, there's a line where it's like, honey, no, just, like, stop.
It's like,
I can't even save you.
Well, that happened.
Get another beer. I'll be right
And
back.
the only reason
I feel like I'm dragging right now, and I don't want to be mean to anyone. I hope I didn't offend anyone.
You didn't offend anyone. It's fine. We're just telling the truth here. Don't worry. As long as we don't reach Jimmy level, we're fine.
I have no comments about Jimmy, and I have nothing to say. Other than I don't care what he has to say about my content. I will still make the same content. with whoever I want. And that's all I have to say about that. Amen.
Like, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it because
Cheers.
because Jimmy's my
Open
friend.
another one and like we're gonna do cheers.
Oh, you want me to open another one?
I'm
Didn't
gonna
you
do
just
my
finish
version
one?
of.
Yeah, I did. Hold on. I'm trying to get it open because I'm okay, look, I'm like the wimpiest man-child alive. I have trouble with twist-offs. So, okay, we're good. Okay, look, I'm willing to admit it, okay?
I mean, yeah, no, that's fair. But alright, let's do it.
Kampai.
Yeah, I'm Allie. You know what I did at home? I did my version of cheering, and you know what that is. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
So
Yeah.
jealous.
I know. Isn't it awesome?
It is.
But yeah, so that was the one thing. There was so much
So
Tumblr.
just, like innuendo.
There is so much Tumblr in that room during that. Like, and the thing is that I get that you're excited to see Levi, but we are here to hear the dub. And if you're screaming, I can't fucking understand what anyone's talking about. And the only reason we got into that room was because me and my best friend Jennifer were press, so like you can line jump basically.
I would love to be press at AX, but the concurrent subscriber count they
I
require
was
is
gonna say,
high.
like, yo,
Yeah.
there are some of us in this community that'll never experience what it's like to be
Like I tried. I legitimately tried. And they're just like, your subscribers count is too low. No. I'm like, thanks, guys. Way to
There's
make me
a-
feel great about myself.
There's a
It's like
con.
things I
There's
knew.
a con here in Miami called Animate Miami, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and get press passes for this. And I was looking at their requirements. I'm like, all right, I meet the requirements for subscriber count on 2 different forms of social media. I should be good. And then they put out, I saw a line where like, oh, they must be releasing content every day. Fuck that.
Daily release?
Not
Shit. At my
happening.
peak, I was doing weekly release, and that was
Yeah,
enough
dude,
work.
same.
Like, watching a 13-episode or 26-episode anime series
I can only
and
do
doing it
daily.
every week.
Yeah. I could
It's
only do
hard enough,
something
man.
daily if it was like vlogging, and my life would have to be really interesting.
I could
Because
do
I'm trying to
episode
think, I'm
reviews.
like, I could vlog every day if it would just wanted it to be like me in my car.
Right.
Because that's all that ever happened.
I mean, I could review episodes as they come out, but the problem is, like, if I have a dry season like winter 2016 is, what am I going to review some days?
Dude, Konosuba. Konosuba.
Which is done. It's finished. Konosuba finished this week. It's done.
So watch it again, damn it.
Watch it again, review the same episodes
Okay.
again.
I'm going to throw this out there. I wasn't as impressed with Konosuba as half the anime community. I'm just gonna throw that
Yeah, it's
gauntlet
just because
down.
I
you have
smell
shit taste.
controversy.
That's all it is.
Hey, man.
Man, we all have opinions. So, like, it
Yeah, I have
happens.
anime opinions.
Yeah, you have anime opinions, dude.
Hey, if we're talking about anime, could we talk about how amazing that last episode of Haikyuu was? Anyone?
If you mean
so
today's, I
sorry.
haven't seen it.
That I still haven't seen.
Oh my god! Dude, this episode's
I-
fucking amazing.
I watch Haikyuu on Mondays because Monday is the awful day for me for work. So I need something to help me get through it.
Oh, bruh.
Bruh.
Mwah.
Bruh.
It is so good. It is so good. There's just, especially the music in this episode is just so fantastic. I'm like, this is like going back to when I was in high school and we like sang church music all the time in big cathedrals. Like, very much the music was like Kuroko level, god tier.
Nice.
I will consider watching Haikyuu when I finish Kuroko.
Speaking of Haikyuu, I'm surprised that I don't know. I didn't see much of a reaction from you when season 3 got announced. Like on
Well,
Twitter.
just because, I mean, I knew season 3, not to sound like arrogant about this show that I love, but I knew
Luke's
season 3 was
pulling
going to be announced.
receipts right now.
Like, I knew Haikyuu was going to be announced, so I just kind of assumed that would happen at some point. So when it did, it was like, yeah, obviously.
Yo,
Like,
Sarah, you call yourself a Haikyuu fan and you don't even get pumped about like the season 3 being announced? Like the fuck?
no, I pumped. But I had already, like, celebrated because I knew it was going to happen already. It was like a done deal.
Girl, you love Haikyuu so much. Like, I know.
There was no doubt in my mind that it would get a season 3. I just knew that in my bones. And so when it happened, it's like, yeah, obviously, because it's amazing. Like, durr.
I've heard good things. I'm kind of mad at myself that I still haven't actually sat down and watched it. But I haven't sat down and watched anything Like, as I was telling everyone in here earlier, Internet, that, like, I put on a movie last night, and I remember the opening sequence of the movie, and then I woke up this morning in my bed. Like, and I was like, I don't know how I got here. I live alone. I don't remember moving here, but I got here.
Good job, Allie. You can take.
That's what happens when I try to consume media lately.
Look, drunk Allie can take care of Allie, so you're doing
That's
good.
the thing, though. I honestly do take care of myself. One time I had a bag of vomit hanging off of my bed, and let's just leave it at that. Like, I can take care of me.
At least it was a bag off the bed.
I was smart. It was a college dorm, so, like, they have those, like, raised up beds where, like, they put the dresser underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took one of the trash bags out of my trash can and, like, threw up in it and then hung it off the bed so I could just lay in bed still. Yeah. I was really lazy.
That's some MacGyver laziness shit.
I went to an engineering school.
That's why, man.
That makes way more sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, in my dorm room, there was times I was just so tired, I just didn't want to go up and turn off the light, and so I would literally find the closest things that were throwable nearest to me, so I didn't have to actually get off the bed, and I would just sit there throwing it at the light switch, going, turn off.
Okay, I never got that level lazy.
I mean,
I just didn't want to have to, like, fall out of a raised up bed that was, like, 3 feet off the floor to go vomit.
I had a loft bed, and the one night I was too lazy to turn off my lights, I just unscrewed the light bulb.
Yo, that's what you do!
I just unscrewed the light bulb. It was like right next to me. I just turned it over, and it was like, this one's asleep.
That's
Okay,
what
what
you're
did everyone's
told.
mom used to get mad at them the most for, like, about cleaning? My mom used to get so mad at me for dust. So, like, now when shit gets dusty, I, like, take that as, like, a personal stab at my mom. I'm just like, fuck you. It's dusty. I don't give a shit still. You can't yell at me anymore, Mom. I'm an adult.
For me,
And I can like it dusty.
see, for me, Allie, it was always, your shoes are in the middle of the room, go put them
Oh
in
my
the
god, I got that too! Okay, but I got the dust more, but the shoes in the middle of the room, like, my dad
no,
used to say that
the
to my
shoes are
mom.
literally tucked underneath the chair, so therefore it is physically and logistically impossible for them to be in the center of the room. They are tucked away in the
It's
corner.
mom logic,
Why is it so
It's
important that they
mom
get
logic.
stuffed in the closet? I just can't. I can't.
Moms have their own fucking logic. Like, that's partially a reason why, like, I want to have a child one day so I can just be on, like, that weird mom logic shit, but, like, at the same time, I don't want fucking kids.
That you just
I know
buy
what
a
hell
cat,
that I've been.
buy a cat, adopt a cat, and there you go. It's the
I don't
same
like
thing.
cats. I'm a dog person.
See, I like the idea of kids, but not the responsibility of them. Like, I want all the fun parts of kids and not the.
See, I don't even think kids are fun. They terrify me.
So
I find them scary.
I worked at a children's play place for 5 years, the one with all the inflatables.
Oh,
Yeah,
please tell.
I got all the fun side of kids. I don't want kids. I'm good. Like,
You got all, like, the kids,
okay.
like, throwing up in the ball
yes,
pit.
exactly.
shit.
Well, I didn't have a ball pit, thank God. But like, if somebody throws up an inflatable, it still bubbles. Okay,
Oh my
keep
God.
that in mind. It bubbles. So no kids for me, thank you.
Yeah, I
They're
have
like
a
little bitches. Like,
Kids
you know,
are
I
awesome.
could
You guys
just
are
be
all
a
plebs.
cool fucking aunt
Okay,
for,
just
like, the
'cause you have an
same...
awesome child does not mean that all kids are great. Lou.
My
I
child
know that
plays
I
video
was.
boo,
I used
that
to
plays
think I was a
video
great
games,
kid.
and she doesn't give a fuck.
Your daughter is a
best.
special case, Lou.
My daughter's great.
If I ever got stuck with a kid, your daughter is what I would love to have, because she would be like a little me, and I would be like, watch this anime, and you're gonna love it. Like, shut the fuck
Watch
up.
Evangelion and tell me about the themes within
No,
it.
not until she was at least like 13, yo.
I'm joking.
I've
Ellen,
told
I'm
y'all the
teasing.
story of her experience with Madoka, right?
She saw Madoka.
No, she has not seen Madoka.
Okay,
And it's
good.
very much intentional because a few years ago, I had a Madoka wall scroll, and she came into my room one day and said, "Daddy, those are cute girls. I want that in my room." I was like, "Okay, honey." I thought it was real funny, so I put it up by her bed. And then last year, I was going to a convention. She wanted to come with me. I told her no, and she's like, "Get me a cube." I was like, "Okay." So this entire time, because she loves magical girl shows, she's seen Tokyo Mew Mew, she's seen a good chunk of Cardcaptor Sakura,
Destroy Sailor
Moon
Moon.
Crystal.
Okay. Crystal? You should do
yeah.
the original too.
At some point. Like,
I mean,
she
the
will at some
original
point.
is way more like episodic.
The original with the new dub.
Yeah, the original with the new dub, please. Like, every little girl deserves the original Sailor Moon.
Because
It's
they
true.
didn't make them like cousins in the new dub.
There are a couple of new dub, right? If I recall.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, as a child, I totally knew they were gay. I don't know what the fuck it was because I didn't remember them being referred to as cousins. Like, I knew as a child.
I mean,
that,
it's
like, they were
super
together.
obvious. It's super
No, it was
obvious.
totally obvious, but then there was the boyfriend Brad who sends the roses.
So, hold on.
We know where those came from.
Alright, so to conclude this entire thing with Madoka and my child,
sorry.
I will never tell her what Madoka is about. I will let her watch it completely blind when she's 15, and that's it.
Yo, that makes me remember how
It's
when
a
I was
long
a kid,
con, yo.
when I was a kid, my dad used to like let me sing the song "Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff," and I heard it like a year ago for the first time as an adult.
What's that song?
It's so dirty.
What's that title? What the fuck?
It's not called Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff. That's just like the one line I remember. Okay, there's like a whole story to why I like this song. And it's because as a child, I loved Cocoa Puffs. And so because the song said Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff, I liked the song. And I used to sing it in the car, and I heard it like a year ago, and it was really dirty and all about sex. And my parents used to laugh and encourage me as I sang it to them. So you're allowed to do that for your children.
Why does that remind me of that Instagram video of that like 2-year-old baby going, turn up, and his dad's like, no, turn down, it's night time.
I remember seeing that one.
Turn up. It was so cute.
I
Anyway,
literally
back to what you were
remember
saying.
singing Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff like in my parents' van wearing a Burger King like king crown. Like, I know what I was about. And I was the fucking boss.
Nice.
That's
I was a
beautiful.
funny kid. My dad used to like be like, "Do you want to make a gang sign? Don't tell your mother that I showed you this." And he would make like a weird fucking sign with his fingers, and he would be like, "Do it," and I would be like, "Okay." And so I would like recreate whatever he did, and then he would be like, "Go show your mom, but don't tell her where you learned it."
Your dad's a shit. I love it.
My mom's the one that taught me how to use a middle finger because we were driving a U-Haul, and I like specifically remember this incident. Like someone cut her off, and she like flipped someone off, and I was like, "Mommy, what does this mean?" And I was like doing it to myself. I was like looking at it like this, and she was like, "Don't do it to yourself. It means like a very not nice thing." When I didn't tell that to you though. And then I flipped my dad off later that night, and he was like, "Where did you learn that?" And I was like, "Mom." I was a weird kid.
I love it. I love it.
I want more life stories from Allie. Or drunk stories from Sarah. Either or.
Hey, Sarah, give us some drunk stories.
A drunk story. I mean, I guess this is the one time I've gotten sick when I was drunk. One time, okay?
The one time.
I have never ever since then thrown up. I know my limits.
Today.
Yeah, but I don't like that shit. Like, it stings. Ew.
And no,
I'm not
it
about that
sucks.
life.
And this was after I fucked. Oh my god! Hey, it's John.
Hey, baby, what's happening?
What?
How we doing?
We doing good.
Putting a Cheeto in my mouth.
I was telling my drunk story.
Oh,
This is
I'm
my
sorry.
drunk story.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's okay.
Hey! I didn't know you were in here.
I don't know any of this.
Sorry. I just wanted to pop in and say,
I don't know any of these people.
Isn't that just the story of our lives? We just we don't know any of these people, and just like that's just how I got started.
Honestly, that's how I met half of you guys.
Right?
I don't know you.
I don't know
Why
how
are we
to-
in the same
What you
internet
thought?
call?
it was really just like Lou threw us into a chat, and it was just like, we're doing a thing. And it was just like, I guess that's happening.
I know we're bros, like, you know.
Basically.
Association
Yeah.
forever.
I'm like, well, if Allie asked to tell me to join, you know, it means I'll probably have fun
Straight
with
up,
people.
like, straight up, like, I was just like, oh, if we're inviting anyone that we want to, I'm just gonna message Sarah. Like, let's do it.
I fucking love you, bro.
I was like, if this is gonna be so, like, super informal, then yes, I'm
I'm upset.
You get
I'm
that Cheeto in your
upset.
mouth. Get that Cheeto in your mouth.
Do it.
Enjoy it. Yeah,
I feel
that's right.
so-
Bite down.
so
Bite
involved
down.
in me right now. I just feel so involved. It feels nice.
I feel so involved.
In my little corner.
I'm making a difference in my community.
Oh, wait, I have a better story I can tell.
Do it.
This is a story about Demo.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I love that guy.
The almighty Demo.
The almighty Demo, okay? So, like, I added Demo on Skype ages ago. That was
Oh
ages
fuck,
ago.
this is gonna be good. I don't even think I know this
And,
one,
like,
guys.
we never really talked. I knew he was there, and I always knew he was chill. I think I asked him a question a couple times. And he was always really nice, you know, messaging me back. But,
it's a real guy.
yeah, he's really awesome. And what he did is on Tuesday, it was my 21st birthday, and it is, what time was it? 3:48. He messaged me at 3:48 in the morning. Happy birthday. And I messaged him back like 2 hours later. Thanks. And then he sends me a picture of a motorcycle being ridden by a frog.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's pretty rad. And he's like, that's a frog.
That's pretty rad, yo.
I mean, that's the appropriate response. That is a fucking rad. I want to see that picture.
I will try and send it to you once the story is over so you can get context.
Please and do. Please do. Thank you.
I will. And he's like, yeah, I thought it's a frog on a motorcycle, so I thought it'd be pretty cool in his sweet birthday present. And I'm like, well, it's 6 a.m., so it's definitely better than any of the presents I've gotten so far. So you're kind of ahead of the game there. And he's like, did you get a Hot Wheels loop-de-loop? Because if you didn't, that's fucking bullshit. Like, what?
I love Demo. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is something he would say. That is absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, we haven't talked in like 2 years.
Well, it doesn't matter.
We haven't
It
talked
doesn't
in
matter.
2 years.
And we're like having this like back and forth, like nice banter. And I'm like, this is enjoyable. I'm having a
That's
good
not-
time.
okay, like, here's a weird interjection. You know what hits me about this community sometimes is how long I've known you fuckers, because, like, people's fucking birthday things will just, like, pop up in my Skype messages, and it's like, yo, I added this person on Skype, like, 2 birthdays of theirs ago, like, the fuck? How long have I been here?
You just getting an entire 2-liter of ginger ale?
Yeah.
Yeah, Allie, how long have we known each other? And we just had like our first conversation.
Yeah,
like,
we
as a
had our
podcast?
first bonding experience. Yeah, like, what, we've known each other for, like, 2 or 3 years now, because
Something
we
like
talked to
that, like
Michael
something
about this. I'm
crazy
like,
like
how long have I fucking known you?
Oh, good gravy. That's a fun time. That's a fun time.
Me and Random are homies. We got to finally talk about Library Wars. Like,
Yeah,
we're
sure.
not
And
homies.
we bond over Yuri, which I bought more Yuri recently, and it was pretty good.
I'm the internet Yuri queen. A lot of
Wanna-
people don't realize this, but like I'm like, talk to me about Yuri, guys. I've probably fucking read it.
Have you read the short story collection by Milk Morinaga?
we already talked about this, and no, I haven't.
Wait. Oh, well, I just finished it, and it's great. It's not as good as Girlfriends. but it's
Oh
great.
yeah,
No.
I was gonna say
No.
that's the author of Girlfriend.
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that she actually had a short story collection.
No, I'm
Mhm.
scared.
Like,
Yeah, it's
I'm scared.
Kisses,
What is
cherry
happening?
blossoms, and something. Hold on.
what is happening?
I think he's being assaulted by cheetahs.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I've seen a hentai.
I was
things
not
like this.
looking at the window with everyone's faces on it. And I
Yeah.
just saw like 2 orange rectangles above his eyes and was freaking out for a second. Like, wait, what? What is happening?
This is gonna look really weird later. It's gonna be very odd. My girlfriend is trying to force feed me Cheetos because I was
I
like,
mean, there are
I'm-
worse things
like,
for her to
hey,
try
I'm
to
gonna
force
jump in
Tell
this
your
call real
girlfriend
quick.
that there are a total of 18 people watching as witnesses right now.
I'm sure the VOD will have that.
The VOD.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got Jack.
Oh, is
What's
Jack
up?
there?
Hi, Jack.
We got Jack.
Hi.
Come on,
Yeah, like,
Nice to meet you, Jack.
I will return later.
nice to meet
I will return later.
You too.
See ya.
I'm being assaulted by Cheetos. Why?
I'm being assaulted by Cheetos.
I mean, there are worse things to be assaulted with. We've all seen where this can go.
Good job, Random.
I'm almost out of beer, so I may have to, bitch beer, so I may have to go get more alcohol in a moment.
Dude, make yourself Midori sours.
I will be, but that takes me.
You told us that you were going to. I've been
Okay,
waiting.
I'm
the whole
warming
time.
up. Okay, I have to start slow before I
So
put
you
like.
start with like 2 mics hard and like.
Okay, okay. It was.
I jumped right into the
This is number 3. Okay, this is number 3. All
I
right.
jumped right in. With
I'm already
my
regretting this, by the way.
pastel-ass vodka.
There's too much liquid in my stomach. I already regret this. So hi Jack, how are you? Welcome to the craziness.
Well, I'm Miller High Life, and it sucks.
Bro, Jack, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. Jack, what you need to do is you need to stop
Stick up a
drinking
chicken's
that.
ass.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
stick it up a chicken's ass,
Allie, I don't
And
know
then you
if I can
cook it.
deal with this.
and it's a good time.
Yep.
This
Yeah,
is too
drop
good.
it, Sarah. You can buy booze.
No,
Yeah.
dude. Remember my nudge, nudge, wink, wink from earlier?
Oh. Are you nudge, nudge, wink, wink in it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, I'm gonna go make a Midori sour. I'll be right back.
Allie, I sent you the entire conversation I had with Demo on Skype.
I was going to check my Snapchat. And I have a Snapchat from you.
My one and only experience with Demo on Skype was the call that I was invited into by Kisa, and it was just Demo. Every 5 minutes would bust out into song. He was singing "Last Resort" by Papa Roach, and that went on for about 2 hours.
What the fuck, that song? I love it. I love it so much. Are you having fun with your nudge, nudge, wink, wink?
Dude, you saw half of my fun over Snapchats earlier.
Okay, but like, what actually happened in that cemetery?
Dude, exactly what you saw.
But that doesn't answer any question.
Like,
If
I'm
you
just
think
gonna
about what
assume
you
it's a
saw,
satanic ritual.
Yes.
I have no
Yes.
context.
If you want to assume that, then sure, that's exactly what it
That's
is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, dude, exactly what happened.
Did
in
you just
Snapchat.
panic? Because, like, I don't even panic. And
No, I wasn't panicking. It was just like, it's.
Okay, best Snapchat you've ever sent me right there. That was my favorite.
I didn't think you were gonna open it.
I didn't think I was going to either, but I did.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's just brilliant.
My face hurts from smiling. I love you all.
You need to.
I'm starting to get drunk now though because like these are double shots and I've had what, like 4 of these now.
See, Allie, just go on to your Skype messages. I sent you the entire conversation demo I had. You
Yeah,
need
I'm
to
reading
read
it
through
right now. I love Demo. I've been in like 2 calls with him, and each time they're like really weird and just my favorite things. It's always with Michael. And like one time he was about to go on a date. It was weird.
Oh, Allie. Allie, you know what I just remembered?
What?
I just remembered cake farts.
Woo! Cake farts!
Okay, Allie, are you happy now? Okay, there it is.
Yes, I am.
Oh my
But you have to
God.
understand random. Have you ever heard of cake farts? Internet people, have you ever heard of cake farts?
Oh my God, Allie, I will never forgive you for showing me that.
You just brought this up, and we're in a live stream.
You're the one who sent it to me.
I know, but you brought this up
I have
in a
heard of
live
it. I have
stream.
never partaken of said video.
So I showed it to Sarah, and now she's bringing it up.
This
it
isn't
happened
going
so
to end well
recently.
for anyone.
If you're under 18, don't look it up, please. It is porn.
Cake farts?
But it's not really porn. I don't know. It's very softcore, but there are still vaginas involved.
It's kind
Don't
of
look
like
it
those
up.
Like
videos.
lemon horse.
It's kind of like lemon horse, lemon ceiling
Okay.
horse.
Okay.
It's kind of, but it's literally like a girl farting on a cake. Don't look it up if you're not of age, children. I did not condone this. I discovered this when I was of age.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. Yes.
What?
Exactly.
What?
And I didn't drink until I was
What
21.
did you just make me look up?
Did you just look it up? Jack, you should know better. Like, don't look it up.
My curiosity got to me.
So, how was your
My
first cake
reaction,
fart?
everyone.
How was your first
I
cake
looked
fart?
it up. I see it in the comments on YouTube. I looked it up.
But did he get the right one though? Because he might not get gotten the right one.
But it's all the same concept.
The right one.
It's all the same concept.
Wait, there's
There's
more
the
than
original
one?
cake farts. There are people that have reenacted the masterpiece of the original. Like, there's only one original.
I'm talking about the original.
The original is some white girl
I've
with
seen
her
all I
hair
need to
pulled
see.
up, and she's in
Yes.
like,
And then
Yeah.
she takes her hair down,
yeah, she
right?
climbs on like this like granite countertop, and then just
Yep,
like farts on
yep,
a cake, and
that
she's
is-
like, yeah,
That is what I'm
that's
staring
the
at
one
right
I'm
now.
talking about.
And then, yep. Okay.
That
Yeah, and
sounds
she
like
just
a great
farts
anime.
on that cake, yo.
I mean,
I'm talking about the one that's like the brown cake.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
the one I'm
brown
watching.
cake.
There's all
Yeah.
sorts of brown
Dude, and that
out there.
bitch just farts, and like her anus is just like, I'm like, ew. All right, graphic image for everyone. Sorry.
Allie, why did I watch this?
Are you
Why
watching
why,
it?
why did I watch this?
See, you know what you just did? You're that person
You
who
did
was
it to
like,
yourself.
you asked for a good
Telling you
anime,
exactly what's
and
happening.
someone told you, oh, you want to watch a
Boku
good
no Pico.
anime? Go watch Boku no Pico, and then
Yeah.
you just
Go
did
watch
it. That's
Boku no
what you
Pico.
just did. That's what you just did.
Okay, in fairness, I have not watched Boku no Pico.
I have with multiple people.
Look, if I watch Boku no Pico, I'm gonna need to be more drunk than I am right now.
Holy,
Allie.
like legit, all you do is just fucking laugh at it when you're with your bros. Like, you know, like there's the
Oh, you
scene
mean
in
like-
the car.
It's like watching the American
and like
version of The Ring.
the cum hits the ceiling, and you're just like, damn, this is a metaphor for my life, and you just laugh.
Wait, what? The cum hitting the
Allie,
ceiling is a metaphor for your life.
Ceiling, and it's a metaphor for my
Allie, I'm
life.
concerned for you right now.
Yeah, seriously. Like, that's called
You think
somebody's
you know a
overachieving
person.
in life.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
I don't either. I'm like, I don't know.
Allie, there is no safety net here. So,
It's okay.
This is
Go
not
for
a
it.
safe space. If you're
This
easily
is
triggered,
not
you
a
may not want to
safe
watch this. If you're easily triggered, you may not want to watch this.
hey, we titled this The Drunkening, so I think that's enough of a warning.
That is a very good warning.
So, real talk for a moment. Were we supposed to talk about the new season?
No.
Or were we
No,
just going to sit
we're,
around?
we're
Okay,
just
good.
cash.
Okay,
Because
I
I-
wanted to
Just
make
like
sure.
Dakota had a live stream earlier, and then we were all like, hey, we should maybe do some Cards Against Humanity. And then we were like, no, let's just get drunk.
Yep.
Works for
That's
me.
right.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't need my notes. Because I have notes.
You have notes.
I have
I
notes
don't
about
know.
the anime I was going to talk about. 'Cause,
Damn.
like,
Nerd.
Damn, I don't even
Look.
study that much for my real college
oh, no, look, no,
classes.
it's bad. Like I have like actual paper and it's on a clipboard. Like I'm
Holy!
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
Holy! No.
I
when I was
repeat,
gonna like when I was gonna start
nerd.
making I was gonna start making videos again because as anyone who follows me knows I haven't made a video in like working on a year at this point.
Same.
So I was like,
Same.
you know what? I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna go buy some yellow pads. And I'm
Oh my
gonna, like,
fucking god,
I'm
don't
gonna
even
write
start
shit
because
out.
I did the same shit. Like, it's literally in my other
no, but,
room.
like I have
my fucking yellow pads with notes. Like,
like
oh my
this
god.
is this is last year's like top anime. It's 2 pages so far, and I think I've talked about 2 anime. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go super try hard because I appreciate my subscribers and I love you all.
Don't
and
you
then,
love the goals we set for ourselves that we never
Mhm.
keep?
And then I'm an anime number 8, and I never finished the script, and I'm probably not going to. I mean, I have like loot crates over to
Dude,
my right.
make
I haven't
it a
unboxed.
top 5.
I could probably very easily make it a top 5 because last year was garbage.
Yep.
That's right. I'm throwing
Yeah,
that gauntlet
last year
down.
was garbage.
I'm
It's
saying
just-
it. Last year in anime
Why do
was
you guys
garbage.
think that I have been so
It's
out of
just Gay
anime
Bear
lately?
Storm.
I'm like,
Gay
nothing
Bear
else
Storm
is
is the
going
top
on.
5.
Nothing's good anymore.
Punchline is in top 5.
No. Yuri
Yes.
Kuma is all spots of the top
I didn't
5.
watch Yuri Kuma, so I have no opinion on
You're
it.
playing.
Punchline was
Motherfucker,
great.
it is Yuri. You
Great.
have to watch it. If
I'll
you're
get
Yeah,
to it. I'll get
it's-
to
I
it.
haven't
Gay
seen
Bears.
it. I'll get to
Disgusting.
it. But you know, like, we're Yuri fans.
Allie, how
We
the
have to
fuck can you
watch
tell me off for not watching it when you haven't even watched it yourself?
it. Because I'm also a Yuri fan that experiences life, yo.
Hypocrisy.
I experience that life and it keeps me away from shit.
Did anyone see Hosoda's latest film, The Love Letter to Furries?
Boy and the Beast.
Are you talking Wolf Children or Boy and the
I was
Beast?
super
Boy and the
thinking
Beast.
about it.
I'm sorry.
Zootopia? Are we talking about Zootopia?
I
That's
mean, you
not
can
just
even argue-
Mavra Hosoda, bitch.
You can even argue that at Summer Wars to a degree.
Summer Wars
The
is
love
great.
letter to-
Everything's
Yes.
like furry.
I said
think
his
Mavra-
most
Basically,
recent
that's
movie,
what their
which is
avatars are.
Wolf Children, which is Pokemon
Not
no
Wolf Children.
Not Wolf Children. I said
No, I haven't.
Mama Hosoda's first movie, which is basically a love letter to furries. So
Yeah, no, haven't yet, but no.
Wasn't his first film A Girl Who Loved Her Time?
Yep.
his most recent film. God damn it, Allie, you know what's going on with
Boy and
me.
the Beast.
Oh my god. I was gonna
Okay.
say, I was like, are we talking about Boy and the Beast? Or
I live in Los
A Girl
Angeles.
Who Loved Her
Haven't gone
Time?
to see it. Like, that's
Come
how
on,
bad.
Allie.
That's how bad I am. I haven't gone to see it, and I live in LA.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm drinking vodka. Chill out.
Okay.
Allie, I can't chill out.
Bitch, you're doing the nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Fuck you.
What are we talking about?
It's not
Random, we're talking
It's
about the
girl
nudge,
talk.
nudge, wink, wink.
It's
Think about
girl
it.
talk.
You know me. Think
Sure.
about it.
Okay. Sure.
It's still a question, man.
I'll think it out. Okay, I'm kind of partially drunk, so I'll figure it out.
Kind of partially.
I'm
Partially
like
drunk.
a third of the way there, so like it's gonna take me a minute.
See, now you guys can't get mad at me for being drunk. Like, I'm tiny, okay? I'm drinking vodka. This is
Tiny?
a double
Do
shot.
you know how tall I am? I am tiny.
You're taller than me.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
I'm 5'4".
We need to get Sheena
Why
in
did
here.
I think you were?
Yeah,
Sheena,
Sheena, who's 5'0".
Why did I think you were
Christ,
5'7"?
Allie.
For my girlfriend who's
I almost
5'3".
feel offended.
I know,
I'm
like,
like, you know
why
how
did
short
I
I am.
5'7".
I don't know. I have
Sorry, guys,
always
this is
been like the
actually a
shortest.
dilemma in our friendship. Like, I have no idea why I thought she was 5'7".
That's why I was so concerned. I'm like, no, girl, you know how tall I am. Like, what
I
are you
feel like
talking
it's
about?
because I personally get my 4s and 7s mixed up sometimes, like, just me. But, like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought that.
This is like a recipe for disaster, Allie.
Like, it's a good thing you're not in accounting.
Right? Or like a
I
bartender.
suck at math, okay? No, I want to be a
Is it 4 ounces or 7 ounces? I don't know.
I want to be a bartender because the most money I ever made in a single night from working was serving beer, and I made $84 in tips. So.
Oh yeah, drunk people tip like crazy. I know what I'm.
Oh my
classed
god!
as.
Some dude gave me like a $2 fucking bill, and he was like, "This is legal currency," and I was like, "I'm not giving you any shit. I'm just looking at you funny for putting a $2 bill in my tip jar."
Mhm. Oh
And he
man.
was like, "You have a nice tattoo, by the way," and I was like, "Thanks, man. You're from Jersey, right?" Because like the work shirt I had on, I have like a tattoo right here, and it was showing off half of it. And he was like, "Where'd you get that done?" And I was like, "Missouri." I don't know why. And he was like, "That's some nice lettering, yo." And he kept coming back. The same dude just kept coming back the whole night to like buy beer from me and my tiny stand. And then he tipped me a $2 bill. It was a great night. I still have that $2 bill. I could show it to the internet.
You know, I've never had that problem with $2 bills. Like, I seriously spent like 10 $2 bills on a bill, on things I had to pay for, and I didn't have the person look at me like I was insane. It was great.
Really?
I've never had that problem.
Tried to use a $2 bill.
I mean, I've heard all sorts of people be like, "Yeah, I tried to use a $2 bill, and they tried to they'd have the manager come out because they were convinced it wasn't a real bill."
Like, there's no such thing as $2
I-
bill.
A $2 bill, and I was like, "The fuck is this shit?" And they were like, "Yo, it's real." I was
No,
like,
I've paid for shit with
Ice
50-cent
cream
pieces
shop, I had
before.
to-
I used a silver dollar before I knew what a silver dollar was.
Before
Gave me $2 bills, but I couldn't accept them.
What was that?
I said, I've had people try to pay me $2 bills, but store policy, I couldn't accept them. And then, of course, they were like, oh, but it's real money. And I was like, yeah, I know.
But I'm just the messenger. Like, fuck, I work retail. No, I'm not a god.
Oh no, I work in a pharmacy. It's even worse.
I couldn't even imagine. Hey, I just want my drugs. My drugs.
Why is my copay $200? I don't know. Talk to your insurance company.
It's like, hey,
literally
look,
can't
like
tell you, I
I just
don't know.
work here. I'm not like a god.
I literally tell people, I just build it. They just tell me what to charge you. I don't know.
This might be such a millennial way of thinking, but like I was having this conversation the other day about going to restaurants and people getting pissed off for like having to wait a long time. And I'm like, they could make me wait until like midnight and I would not give them an issue as long as there seemed like there was no reason for me to get angry. And I'm like, if I go to a restaurant with my parents, like, I get so pissed off. I'm like, can you guys just chill the fuck out?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's me and my parents. Oh.
Like,
I'm like, the food will get here when it gets here. My mom will be the person that'll send that shit back to the chef if it's not how she wanted it, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
And
like
that
you get
stuff,
shit
like,
put in
gives
your
me
food.
anxiety.
I'm like, I can't.
I'm like, Mom, you deserve someone to spit in your food at this point. Like, I fucking would. I would spit in your food and I'm your child. You made me.
My mom will make like comments about the quality of the food just
Oh my
audibly enough that everyone can
God.
hear it. I'm like, Mom, shut the fuck up. You're still in the restaurant.
Yeah, no,
I
like,
love
if
you,
they give
but
me, if I asked for something without onions and they give it to me with onions, my mom would try to have a fit about it, and I would be like,
Right?
Mom, I can just take the onions off.
Exactly.
I don't fucking care.
I love my
I
parents.
get so mad. I love my parents, but I get so mad. Like,
I can't go to restaurants.
I'd
with them.
rather not take you out to dinner. I'd rather buy you a gift card and say go out to dinner yourselves.
I can't go to dinner with my parents. I can't do it.
Yeah, I've only ever gone out to dinner once with my parents. Like, ever.
I couldn't even
Like,
imagine. Like, I avoid going out to dinner with them as much as possible.
Yeah,
Sorry if my
my
parents ever
family's
watch
very,
this.
very chill. Like, we don't go out and do things. We just chill. And
Sounds
I
like a
get
good
free
plan.
beer, so that works.
Yeah, that was me over Christmas. I finally reached that point where like I could drink around them without them like batting an eye, and I was like, cool. So I just got shit faced on Christmas. I was like, yo, I don't know how to act around family. Pound.
Allie, you're the baby of us all. You're the
I know.
only person in this call who can't drink legally.
Not true.
I mean, wait, Jack, are you under 21?
Yeah, I'm 19, about to be
He's
20.
drinking a Miller High Life. Of course he's under 21.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No
It's
one
a good
drinks
thing
that
both
shit.
Allie and Jack are
21 or
overseas
pro.
and not in the United States right now.
Yeah,
of course,
we are
that's right.
not. We are not in the United States.
Canada.
Holy shit, Jack, I didn't realize you were 19.
I'm on
Now I
spring
feel-
break. This is
Now-
not my apartment.
Now I feel even older than usual.
How the fuck do you think I feel?
Fair enough, man, but like, I'm not like, I am behind you, but not as behind you as some of these.
You guys
young
aren't that
personalities.
old. Shut the fuck up. Like,
No,
come on.
I until recently I thought I was the second oldest person in the community. Behind Prof, who's
I was gonna say behind Prof. Like, who else is there?
Bob Samurai.
G-San?
He's 31. Remember G-San
Okay.
doesn't count.
Really?
Yeah, Grumpy
No,
Juice.
he doesn't count.
Yeah, he doesn't count anymore. I love that guy though. I miss him. Rest in peace wherever you are, Grumpy Juice.
But yeah, Lou, I'm catching up. It's really weird.
Bro, that's not how aging works.
No. I'm aware that you don't just.
Catching up. It's like a fucking
Look,
random.
I'm catching up a year at a time, alright? I'm
I
catching
have
up a year at a
back pain.
time.
Oh my god, I actually have to make an appointment with my doctor for back pain, guys. Like, I am getting old.
I have a bad knee and a bad shoulder. I feel you, girl.
I've got bad knees, and like I'm starting to have this issue with like there's this spot on my back, like under my left shoulder blade. Let's get real. Like I got like this numb spot on my back, guys, and it's like kind of stressing me out because it hurts as well. And you know, like I should go to the doctor.
My right
well, I
rotator
still have
cuff.
health insurance.
My right rotator cuff hurts when it rains.
Just pain pills
Yeah.
for everyone.
Joints that hurt when it rains. That's a whole new experience for me.
Oh, I've had this since
It's
I was
real.
like 16. It's nothing new.
No, yeah, I was around 16 when that happened, but like in the world of like the kiddos,
I know, right?
being that young is really weird to experience like joint or back pain. And then it happened.
For anyone wondering, I'm sub 25. I'll be 25 this year.
I'm not saying my age because I'm drinking on the internet. I'm old enough.
She's old enough in Germany, where she totally is.
Yeah, I'm totally in Germany.
Shout out to Germany.
Well, it's
I
fine
am
for
a
me. I don't
Germany
really
guy.
think Miller High Life counts as actual
No, it's water,
beer.
man.
So.
No, it's piss water, but it counts
I'm
enough in the
drinking
eyes
water,
of
guys.
the law, Jack.
It's true.
It counts enough in the eyes of the law.
It's like drinking
No, I
blood
know.
water. You can't just go out on the sidewalk and drink that. You can't
It is
do
piss water, and I'm about to be like, yo, I might like get up from this call to go have a cigarette because it's that point of the night and I've been drinking.
I reached that point too, but you know.
Oh man,
I
I'm
think I'll
spilling vodka on my thing. No.
suck it off the desktop.
I'm going to.
No alcohol abuse in this household, young lady.
No alcohol is waste. Oh my god, I was putting, guys, this makes me look bad that I'm about to admit this on the internet, but I put vodka in my coffee this morning, and my coffee went cold, and then I remembered that there was vodka in it, and I was like, you know, I can't waste this.
You just scienced really hard.
I drank this cold coffee.
Oh, that's when you put ice in it. You have iced coffee.
Exactly. Like iced
I am
coffee.
not an iced coffee person. I've never really had iced coffee.
But you are a cold vodka coffee person.
There's a difference.
There is. It's like warm rum and Coke. You still gotta drink that shit.
Yeah. It's like there's booze. The shit's like $20 a bottle. Of course I'm gonna drink it.
The person who taught me to drink, he did not quite reach the point where he's like, you spilled out on the carpet, suck it up. But he got pretty damn close. He was very close.
Licking vodka off glass is a really weird experience.
I'm looking forward to drinking at AX. It's gonna be.
I don't
fun.
know if I'm gonna get to be there. I know that we talked about it, but I don't know if I'm actually.
You still have a place to stay if you make it.
I know,
So.
but I'm broke.
I know.
I shouldn't even be able to afford this. Like, I'm broke.
That's why I'm drinking Miller
A
High
roof
Life,
over
guys.
my head is what I'm paying for.
Look, there's a reason I don't go to bars. I mix my own drinks. I refuse to pay bar prices. I did it at AX this year, and I always
Yeah,
regret
we
it.
went to one bar.
Yeah, I had
once.
2 drinks, and I was like, Jesus, I could have bought a fucking bottle for this.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That
know,
bar
like
was
that's how I
fun.
think. Like that's why when I'm with people and I'm like, do you really want to go out to a bar when we could like buy shit and just drink in the room for the same price?
No, but the thing is, we had alcohol in the room.
Yeah, we went to the bar to go to the bar.
Well, that's when you go and you get a cheap beer and you just like
Well-
hang out, but you go drunk already. You pregame
got-
for that.
We got 2 drinks, and they gave us free Bud Light. It was hilarious.
That was the worst thing ever, dude.
Yeah, it was like that one shot of Bud
Why
Light.
did they give you
just
guys?
ruined
They gave
were
you
giving
a
out-
shot of Bud Light.
Basically, they were giving out like free little like
The little
free
4-ounce cups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of Bud Light. They're like, drink Bud Light because it's Bud Light. Like,
Right.
sure.
Yeah, no, I would be like, why would you give this to me? It's a shot of beer.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's,
I had a,
it's free
I had a
alcohol.
snake. Yeah, no, I had a snake bite and a couple beers in me, and then they gave me this, and it just completely ruined my night.
Mhm.
Up until I drank more, and then it was good.
I did I
Okay,
think I did
like,
a Dark and Stormy and Midori Sour, if I recall.
Yep.
I was a little drunk. I don't remember very much.
I had gin for the first time the other day. Like last week Friday, I went over to like this girl's room, who is in my like one class, and she was like, "Yo, if you want to come over, we should drink together sometime." And I was like, "Cool." So it was like 7 o'clock on a Friday, and I go over to her room, and she was like, "Do you want some gin?" And I was like, "I've never had gin." She goes, "Do you want a shot of gin?" And I was like, "I feel like gin's not the type of alcohol that you take a shot of."
It's not.
And
It's
so
really not. It's really not.
I took a shot of gin, and I was like, I gagged on it.
Yeah,
And she was like, "Do you not know how to do shots?" And I was like, "First off, I'm terrible at shots anyway. But, like, you don't understand. Like, this was just, like, not...
Tequila,
This ain't
whiskey,
no vodka,
like
dude."
vodka, but not gin. Gin you mix with tonic water and you drink it like all night. You don't know.
You know what she gave me to chase it? Some pomegranate water that
no.
she diluted with water.
That's already gross on its own.
Yeah,
What
no,
the fuck is
I
wrong with
watched
this
her
girl?
put, like, water
My
into
favorite-
the pomegranate juice, and I was like, the fuck did you just do?
One
It's
of
like
my
shit that
favorite
happened in my
experiences
hometown.
with shots is doing shots of Everclear.
Oh
That-
no.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
like the one time I ever did
lived,
kind of like
I
a
said,
shot of
no,
Ever-
dude. I had to clarify. I was living on the Florida-Georgia line. That is a normal thing there.
I got a bottle of Everclear for my 21st. I took one shot and realized that was a mistake.
No, like the only thing I can drink Everclear with is lemonade, and that's what I consider a shot. Like taking a swig of lemonade mixed with Everclear is a shot of Everclear to me.
Yeah, you do
Yeah,
you usually do
that's
Everclears
fair.
in Everclear deaths. Because that shit's just like battery
And
acid.
let's just say college story from Allie. Like, we had this party piñata named Pablo, the party piñata, that lived in my roommate's boyfriend's dorm. And his nose was a shot glass, and he had a Powerade bottle that was taped into his ass. And inside of that Powerade bottle was always lemonade and Everclear. And I remember the first time that I ever met Pablo, I walked over to the dorm, and I walked through the door, and I walked down into the hallway. And I was met by like 4 screaming white guys holding a piñata, and they were like, "You have to take a shot out of Pablo's ass." And I was like, "What? Who is Pablo? And why am I gonna take a shot out of his ass?" And then they handed me this piñata, and like the next thing I know, my like everything's burning because I just took a shot of Everclear. And that was my first experience with Everclear and Pablo the party piñata. Fun stories from Allie for this live.
I mean,
Good time.
I was the bartender for the majority of my college drinking experience because I can't always drink cheap beer. So I learned how to make drinks, and which is where I learned how to make a really good Long Island.
My only experiences with Long Island are like those Bud Light mixtails, and those are gross.
No.
They're fucking awful.
That's a bad time.
No.
At least the Long Island one of those is really gross.
Make your fucking Long Islands fresh. Don't buy a canned one. Have some
No, like
class.
the only like Bud Light mixtail that I can do is the Hurricane one, but I don't actually know what's in like a real Hurricane.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't actually know what the red stuff is in the Hurricane. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
see,
I
that's
feel
why-
like it might be that shit that's like in a Shirley Temple, but
Hang on.
See, that's why I'm glad all my mixed drinks are really easy. Like, just ludes, and that's all I need. I'm good.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, a Hurricane is rum, more rum, pop-up advertisement,
pop-up advertisement.
lime juice, orange juice, passion fruit juice, simple syrup, and grenadine.
Okay, so there is grenadine in it. I thought so.
Yes, there is. That makes sense to get. It's for the color.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure, because I was like, is there grenadine in it, though? Is that what makes it red? What is
Yes.
it? Some things gotta do it.
But yeah, AX this year, I'll mix drinks, so we don't have to go to a bar.
I want to be a bartender just to know how to mix drinks.
I can
like-
do usually up to a 3 to 4 ingredient. It depends.
People don't understand how bad I am with drinks, though. Like, when I want a drink, I will tell someone to go make me a drink. Because I'm like, literally, whatever you're having, just make me one. Because I don't know. I don't know what I like. I have no
Allie,
preference. All
Allie,
alcohol
you
is, like, the same, but not really. Like,
You
I have my
gotta
preferences,
know,
but not
you gotta
really.
know your like 4 go-tos. Oh,
Well,
it's only
see-
4 to 5s.
No, see, I have my go-tos, which is usually, like, I'll just do vodka, like, straight if I need to. But Then I have like Jack and Coke, rum and Coke.
Yep.
I hate rum though.
I'm not a rum man, so rum and Coke is always a go-to for me. Usually
See,
caffeine.
I'm really not a rum person, but like I can do it if it's mixed with the right things. Because like for anyone, I'm gonna drag Dakota since he's not here, but like Dakota made me this drink at Anime Central that was like rum and orange soda. And let's just say like those two things don't go together.
No, use like vodka and orange soda. You have to use like a clear
He
liquor.
solidified my hatred of rum. Because like the only reason I had hated rum before that was because I threw it up, like straight up just like threw up rum. But
No. You don't do. You have to do a clear liquor with orange or grape or something like that. You can't do. You have to do clear with fruit. It just doesn't. You can't do not clear with those. Just, no.
it was gross. It was really gross.
Really like it.
Jack, what's the worst thing you've ever had mixed given to you? In college, there's a lot of chances. So what was it?
Party bucket.
Probably. You were talking about plain gin earlier. I have taken a shot of plain gin, and it's terrible.
It is not something I would
Yeah.
recommend.
That was a bad experience.
Plain gin, you know?
I've done it too, but like gin and tonic is my go-to.
You know, the reason I took the shot of gin, funny story, was because I said to the girl, I was like, one day I want to be the type of bitch that drinks gin and tonic on the regular instead of like boxed wine.
I will
And
make.
it was like,
You know what, Allie? I'll make you that bitch. I'll make you the bitch who drinks gin and tonics on the regular because I know how to make them like a boss. They're so good.
please, random, be
Oh,
my
I'm
professional
in.
gin and tonic
I'm
maker for the rest of
fucking
my
in.
life.
Here's the trick. It's 1 part gin, 3 parts tonic water, and a fucking sprig of rosemary.
Okay, the thing is like, I was never good at fractions, so when people say like 1 part, I'm like, what
Okay.
actually equals a part?
2 ounces.
2 ounces is a
One
part?
shot. One
A shot.
shot of gin. 6 ounces of tonic water. Throw a fucking sprig of rosemary in that bitch, and you got a gin and tonic.
Okay,
Or-
so like that just made bartending a hell of a lot
Bam.
easier to me because like I
Like,
never actually
okay,
knew what a part
When they
was.
say part, they mean shot, and shot is 2 ounces. There you go. You just learned.
Got you.
I
Like
just-
that
I
just changed my whole
laid
life,
some
and I could have
knowledge.
googled that, but I never did.
just laid some knowledge.
And
Also,
it was
you're-
at this moment that Allie's liver descended into utter chaos.
Okay,
Also,
like
your
look, I
best
studied
friend are
literature in
Force Outs.
college. Like we just have to think about things. Well, I study film too, but like I'm probably gonna go back to lit.
Pour spouts are your best friend, by the way.
Yeah.
Pour spouts, just like go to Bevmo when you're 21, because they charge you for literally everything in Bevmo. I don't understand why. But
You know, I'm about to turn into a boxed wine whore. Like
no, don't do it. Do
it's
mixed.
cheap though.
So are mixed drinks if you buy it. If you just buy it and make it yourself.
No,
Okay,
you're
give
right.
it some
I
bad
am
time.
more-
$20 for a bottle of decent gin and tonic water doesn't count.
That's true. That is true. You know, like that's hard. That's hard because okay, well, I'm more liable to go through a bottle of liquor on my own when
True,
I have it. Because I know me, and I'm like, if that shit's just sitting there and I got nothing better to do, I'm gonna be like, do I want to get drunk? I know me. I can't do that.
Okay, Allie, I will go get a shot if you want to do a shot. So we can do
Oh,
shots
but
together.
I have like a full glass. I don't want to take it.
I can do a double. That's fine.
I don't want to do a double though.
Okay, then I'll do a single with you. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right, fine. Like
That
I'll
means,
drink half
Allie,
of
that means you have
this.
to drink half of that before he
I
gets
know.
back, so you can do the single.
The
You survived. Kudos.
Oh no, I'm actually like taking shots like way better. But like when I was a little bit younger, I couldn't take a shot without gagging, and now I'm like pretty decent at it. But that's not something you can brag to your mom about. My liver is about to ascend. How have you been, guys?
You guys were talking about mixed drinks. I have a fun story that involves mixed drinks.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Have any of you ever played beer pong with mixed drinks?
Not with mixed drinks. I've only ever played like water pong.
All right. Going on that, because Random said yes. Random, have you ever played 10 cup with mixed drinks? Yes. All right. Have you ever played 6 consecutive games that went into overtime?
Oh my god.
My maximum number of games was 4.
Try going to 6. It was not a good time
I'd
afterwards.
rather not. Usually after 2 games of beer pong, I switch to beer hockey.
Beer hockey.
Which, if you never played beer hockey, by the way. Fun
Okay,
stuff.
so like the thing is that at my old college, like we never played beer pong. We played water pong, but with alcohol.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
what I did too. Because
Like it's such a hassle, and yeah, the beer in the cups get gross.
It's
Like
gross. Yeah.
yeah, ever since I transferred colleges and like people actually play beer pong, I'm like, the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
just real fast. Shout out to Dakota Broski. This is from like a while ago, but he
That's from 2 years ago.
it is. It's been in the freezer the entire time. I mean, it should be okay, right? I mean, alcohol doesn't go bad.
no, it doesn't. And the fact that it's been in the freezer for 2 years.
I mean, that's an appropriate shot glass. I'm also gonna regret this because I have to work tomorrow, but whatever.
I'm sorry.
I don't give a shit. I also don't like taking shots of vodka, but that's my own choice.
I have a lot of work to do tomorrow too, so it's okay.
Well, Allie, to poor decision making.
To poor decision making.
Not as bad as I remember.
Well, I've been drinking this like all night, so it's pretty gross at this point.
Where's the line now? Because when we started, it was at about the middle, maybe a little above the middle. Where's the water line on your bottle of vodka now? Nice.
So we've gone down quite a bit, guys. Like, it might not seem like it, but I've drank quite a bit of this vodka.
I'm impressed. Good job, Allie.
Allie can actually drink, and Allie's not as drunk as, like, she could be right now. And I can tell you that, because I'm not slurring, like, totally yet. I can
You're
still
starting
tell.
to get-
I'm starting to slur, but I can still tell. It's usually when I can't tell that it becomes an issue.
Oh, I can tell that I'm several drinks in.
Yeah, no, I can tell that I'm like drinking, but I'm okay.
This is where it comes in handy, being a 200+ pound, 6 foot tall male.
I'm a tiny 5'5" female. Like,
To be fair, the person who almost drank me under the table was my former roommate, who was 4'11".
Holy shit.
dude,
She and I went shot for shot on Jaeger. We both went through a bottle. I managed to I survived her out, but not by much.
can I meet this girl? I want her to be my friend.
I have no idea where to find her, nor do I want to find
What
her.
happened to my homie? Like, Sarah, come back.
Yeah, Sarah's
Just-
been nude for a
She
while.
abandoned us.
I think she just went to go drink some more.
I'm reading Yowie.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, I had a 1 and 2. It was either go drink more or read Yahweh. I didn't know which one it was going to be.
I just want to be completely honest with y'all. That's what I was doing. Like,
I
I don't
love
want to
you
bullshit
so much.
and say
I
what's doing y'all.
do. I'm so
Sarah,
glad you
I'm
you
great.
came into my life.
I'm so glad you came into my life.
Sarah, I've got to know which kind of
I'm
Fujoshi.
glad you all came into my life.
I'm going to name an anime/manga, and I need to know your opinion. Junjo
Okay.
Romantica.
It's shit.
Thank you.
It's so bad. Like,
I have watched 2
Hey,
seasons
we're
of
talking
garbage.
about
and both
yaoi.
seasons
This
of
ain't my
Sekaiichi.
shit. So I'm gonna go have a cigarette because I'm like unhealthy as fuck.
like, okay, so I just want to be honest. I have seen pretty much every yaoi shonen
Okay.
anime out there,
Mhm.
and I also have a private my anime list, which
seen
is
the
just
list.
my yaoi. And it kind of like how Glenn has his for porn. I have mine for yaoi, and I've like read over 300 yaoi manga.
Okay. I can trust your opinion then.
And I am currently in like the process of reading like 100. Including Junjo Romantica because I like to fully commit to the things that I hate.
I haven't watched season 3 yet, and I don't know if I can do it or not.
It's actually, you know how like in the first 2 seasons it was really really shitty because they would
And
just like
rapey,
whenever it was a
and
sex
really
scene,
rapey, just rapey
Yeah.
as shit.
really rapey, but like.
His dick's inside me now. I like it. Ah.
But see, the thing about Ginger Romantica was like they at least like showed you what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could,
I'll
it
give
was
it
like
that.
all covered up with like black shadows, but you knew what
But
was happening.
You knew they were boning, and like
Exactly.
I can respect that.
They
I can
take
respect
out
that.
basically all of that in season 3.
Oh no.
Like it is all implied. Like and then at the night they had their bit and that was it. And
Wow.
it's like all implied.
Did you watch Sekaiichi Hatsukoi?
Yes.
I like that a little more, but not by much.
Yeah, it's definitely more mature and not as, I mean, it's still kind of rapey, but not as rapey as Genjo.
It's like 2/3 as rapey, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of rapey yaoi, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. So that was all right. Definitely better, but still like really in the scope of all the yaoi I've read, not worth it. I've read so many better.
And then Black Butler, which is not actually yaoi, but do you happen to have an OTP? And if you say Sebastian and CL, I might cry a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm not
Okay,
gonna say I'm not saying I wrote fanfic for them, but I wrote fanfic for them.
I have not spoken yet. I would like to say something about
Speak.
Black Butler and my relationship to that show. Those were the days. Okay, so back when I was getting into anime, because I watch Dragon Ball Z when you're a kid, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was high school, and I made some friends, and they were pretty nerdy, and I actually went over to their house, and they showed me Ouran High School Host Club, which is like the perfect anime to show a high school girl.
It really is.
So I was like, anime, what is this? I need more of it. I need to find more things like it. And I just started watching lots of anime, Soul Eater, Fullmetal Alchemist, brief stint in Italia. I'm so ashamed of myself. And other animes, and one of them was Black Butler. And those were my weeaboo days, obviously. Because I fucking loved Black Butler. Like, to a scary extent. What I'm saying, I'm telling you guys, this was my weeaboo days. Oh, I just want to kill myself when I think about it. Oh, I'm holding my head. I'm just like, wow.
It's okay, so
we all have those.
We all had them. We all
like
had them.
that one's mine. And so it's really hard because now I just hate the way I was when I was like that. So I just associate Black Butler with my attitude at the time. So I have a literal love-hate relationship with that show. So it's hard to talk about it.
Okay.
And not completely control the conversation.
Fair enough. I wrote bad fan fiction for a friend when she was sick, involving Black Butler. So
that's fantastic.
It's pretty awful. Obama makes a cameo. I'm not joking. It's
so where
really
can
bad.
we find this fan fiction, Random?
I'm not telling you where to find it. You'll have to look for it. I will tell you the title if you want.
If I do a Google search, will
You
it
probably
pop
won't
up?
find it. You probably won't find it. It's also not under my name. It's under a different username.
But I all of the major yaoi, I know all about them. I'm super excited because Dokusei, which is a really cute manga by something Atsumiko, I love her. She has really interesting art style, and it's being made into a movie by A1 Pictures. Boom! Finally, someone other than Studio Dean animating fucking yaoi.
with the yaoi hands. The hands.
Just the yaoi hands, and then the animation is just so lazy.
It is.
It is so lazy.
Now the yaoi hands are going to be in CG.
CG yaoi hands on a yaoi bed? Oh, I'm ready.
But no, yeah, this is really exciting because it was First Love Stage, which was by JC Staff, which Love Stage is also better. It's also more modern yaoi, not quite as bad as Junjo Romantica, probably around the Seikeiichi Hatsukoi level. And I was like, wow, the first yaoi in God knows how long that's not animated by JC Staff. This is amazing.
Not animated by Studio Dean.
But not animated by Studio Dean. That's what I meant. So now it's another studio, and I'm hoping that this is like slowly. I call it the free effect, because this has most definitely been sparked by free. I'm pretty sure more studios will make yaoi.
I keep hoping for more Yuri, who's not from Studio Dean. Even though Studio Dean did probably the best Yuri anime that's ever been made, next to Aoi Hana, which was JC Staff. So it seems like JC Staff and Studio Dean are the two main yaoi and Yuri studios.
Yeah.
Silverlink did Yuri Komarashi.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Pretty great.
Welcome back from your unhealthy habit.
It's cold outside, and like people are talking about trailer parks out there. So I don't know what's going on. Bye.
I mean, I would say that it's cold outside here, but it's currently 61 degrees. So
it is.
It's not actually cold.
I know I can top that. My phone's.
Where did my phone go? Oh, there it is.
The joys of living in Los Angeles, where it's never actually cold.
I know, you guys are ridiculous. It is 32 degrees outside right now.
Oh, okay. That sounds like my hometown. My hometown bottoms out at about 26.
What are you from, Northern Cali? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, far northern Cali, almost Oregon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Here it is
only
74.
Here.
Here it's 74 degrees.
You live in fucking
Ooh,
Florida.
That's true, yeah.
I live on the tip of America's dick.
I live on the tip of America's.
And I live square in its asshole, so...
No, I lived in its armpit. Okay, one time I lived in El Paso, Texas, and that's like literally America's armpit.
I've lived in Georgia my whole life.
Georgia's fun.
I've lived in Atlanta the whole time too.
Atlanta? Mm.
See, I never went that far north.
I hate Atlanta's airport. Can I just say that?
Sucks. Oh my god. I had a horrible experience at the Atlanta airport last week actually. It's trash. It's huge and busy and the security's always an hour long.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, SFO? Kind of? San Francisco?
I like San Francisco's airport because I've had like the worst layover ever there, but I got to sleep in the airport and it was
The airport's very nice.
Airport. Yeah, it was a pretty
The
cool
airport itself is very nice. The security's awful. LAX
I like
is
an
not great.
Alcatraz shirt. I was like young, but still, I liked the San Francisco airport. But I think my favorite airport ever is the Dallas airport, and that's just because like they had this trail car type thing, and like I was like 13, and I got to ride that at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then eat it at TGI Fridays at 6:30. So it was a good time. I like that airport.
I have very few airport experiences because I avoid flying whenever possible.
I have done so much travel in my life, guys.
Like, the last time I flew was out of LAX, and it was to Hawaii, so that does not count.
I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, though, so.
It was to the Maui airport. So.
Yeah, I only ever
Wasn't
flew
bad.
from the Oahu one. Like, the Honolulu airport itself is just kind of like a pain in the dick, but for the most part, it's a nice airport because, I mean, you're in Hawaii, and, like, everything's open breezeways. It's a nice airport. They're all
I
nice
think
airports.
Because, yeah, that sounds really similar to...
You know,
Maui
I would
airport.
imagine Maui's would be the same. Just, like, nice open breezeways. I went to high school there, so, like, my high school was all an open breezeway. It was really cool. Yeah. I lived in Hawaii, guys.
Hawaii. It was great to visit. I didn't want to live there.
No, you don't want to live there. You want to
there was
visit.
fuck all to do for not tourists.
Exactly.
smoke
There's
weed.
not that much to do unless you go to the beach.
It's kind of like my hometown, where the top 3 things to do were drink, smoke weed, and have sex. Pretty much in that order.
When I lived in
So-
Hawaii, I was too young, I guess, for all that shit, because like I left when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like that kind of stuff didn't start yet. And if it was, like, I wasn't hanging out with the cool people that were, like, drinking and, like, fucking and shit like that.
Oh, shit. I didn't hang out with the cool people. I hung out with the theater kids. Come on.
You know, I hung out with, like, the losers, and so none of us were doing the cool kid shit yet. But, yeah, no, like, Hawaii is a good place for drugs, I guess, if that's what you're doing.
Apparently, that's what a friend of mine went to Molokai for like a month, and she's like, "Yeah, I smoked more weed there than I did here."
Well, it's because Hawaii is kind of like a hub. Because you have so much international travel going on that so much stuff is coming in.
I would think
like,
more
they can get it
opium would
into
be
the
coming in,
States.
given
I
where
feel
it's
like there
located.
was a lot. I was also super young, so I'm sure if I went back now, like, I could tell you what, like, the drugs were like over there, but I wouldn't be surprised if opium was big. I would not be surprised.
You know Obama was smoking some mad weed over there?
Well,
Hey,
didn't he
man.
admit to smoking weed?
Yeah, he said he inhaled. That was the point. Like, shout out to Obama, man.
Yeah, he admitted that he smoked weed. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
Obama,
I did.
we've all done
Like,
it.
come on.
Let's not play games, guys. Like, let's not demonize this shit. We all know. We've all done it.
I mean, we've all stuck our dick in a pig's head. It's cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed
All
to
right,
bring up
things
David
are starting to
Cameron?
get really
Was
strange.
was I not supposed to bring up David Cameron? Was that just a bad idea?
Well, I was gonna. Okay, my whole reason for that, for putting my hand up there, was like, I don't have a dick. I'm known as Big Dick Al in some circles.
Look, your proverbial dick, okay? You're on the internet. There are no girls on the internet. You have an internet dick. It's cool.
I do have an internet dick. That's why I am known as Big Dick Al in some circles. You don't understand, random. I have other names that I go by.
Oh, boy.
The internet is such a weird thing to think about because I'm like, there's got to be like some 15-year-old kids watching this right now that don't understand what we went through as like the internet evolved.
It's so
I
true.
remember
Like,
when the internet didn't exist, guys.
Yeah, I didn't have, like, consistent internet until I was, like, 15.
I didn't
Exactly.
Google.
I was old. I was old.
I didn't use Google until I was 15. That was
Exactly.
the first time I touched a search engine.
Yeah, I was, like, 13, 14, maybe? Like, I don't know, because we had
I remember
dial-up.
back in school they were teaching us
I
how to
remember
use
using my
the one
mother's
that they were using to
computer.
teach us was fucking Bing.
Oh, God. I was never that bad.
Man.
I also remember, what was that
internet.
one? Ask Jeeves.
Mhm.
Oh my god,
Jeez.
geez.
I remember
Alta
Ask Jeeves,
Vista.
man.
Oh
Alta
my
Vista.
fucking god.
I remember
throwback
Netscape.
right there.
I remember Netscape. That was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I remember AOL, man. I had AOL for years.
I had CompuServe.
Good times.
That was the worst fucking thing ever. I remember it taking like an hour to download a song.
See,
Like
I
three-
didn't start
Like that 3 to 4 kilobits per second internet connection.
I didn't start really downloading shit until I got a hold of Azurius, which is now Views, which is now like the worst torrenting thing ever. But yeah, that was when I was like
When did I start torrenting?
15? 15, something like that.
Okay, I didn't start torrenting until I was like 16 or 17.
It's about the same time as me, give or take, something like that. No, yeah, no.
I was
It was later
old.
than me. Never mind, later than me. I forget you're younger. I can't math. Too much alcohol. It'd be the other way around. Like if Lou had started him when he was 16, I would have been 14.
Okay, I remember dial-up, guys. I see you guys all being like, you guys don't know what dial-up was like. I'm like,
Oh.
I do. I do remember what dial-up was like.
I
Okay.
very much remember dial-up.
Yeah. We remember.
But like, we're talking about when the internet started making a difference in our lives, and it was not when dial-up was around.
No,
I will
no.
readily admit that.
The internet made a difference in my life the day my dad, like literally the day my dad switched to cable.
Yeah. The
I
second I got
remember-
DSL, that's when I started spending more time on the internet.
Yeah, because I had an AOL account too. I remember like AOL accounts were the huge thing back in the Dizzy. Like, you were all about the AOL account
I used
shit.
AOL Instant Messenger, and I played.
And it's the same with MySpace. Like, I remember thinking that people that had MySpace accounts at school were, like, the coolest fuck, like, crowd. I was like, yo, my parents won't let me have a MySpace.
I was totally in the web development class, so I knew how to take all the ads off my MySpace themes.
Yo.
Yeah, I was the cool kid.
Yeah, I taught myself HTML.
Hmm.
I remember HTML coding. Like, I taught myself HTML as well.
I can still code HTML to this day. CSS a little bit.
Okay, I don't think I
Coding
could do it to
CSS.
this day, but, like, I would be familiar enough with the code where if I looked it up and just started fucking with it again, I could do it.
Yeah.
But now it's like JavaScript and like
Yeah, I tried to
C
teach myself
sharp
JavaScript.
and like all that kind of shit.
I tried to teach myself JavaScript. That shit makes no sense. You need no actual coding language for that to make sense.
Coding is so weird. Being friends with comp sci majors, I'm like, the fuck are you guys coding in? It's not HTML anymore? The fuck?
HTML isn't the base anymore.
Oh man. The internet's evolution is a weird thing. I cannot wait to see what the people write about this time. Because I'm like growing up in this, I'm just like, these youngins who are coming into the internet with like their little iPads and shit when they're like kids and shit, like they don't know.
I see fucking 5-year-olds walking around with their iPhones. 6 plus,
That shit
whatever.
weirds me out. I'm like,
Yeah,
man.
it's so weird. Like, I run into like 11 and 12-year-olds with smartphones more powerful than the flip phone I got at 16.
My
Right.
daughter has
Oh
a
my
tablet
God.
that she uses. That she watches
Little
Minecraft
kids
videos
with
on.
tablets, if you
Yeah.
watch them on the YouTube app, it's insane. It's insane.
Like she has a tablet and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna download some games today. And then she'll go to the Play Store, find games that are to her liking. She'll download them. Then she'll go in and uninstall the games because she doesn't want them taking up space.
That's so strange.
It is.
Like, I hated my cell phone. I got a cell phone for the first time in 6th grade, and that's because my parents just could not keep track of me. Because I would never come home when I was supposed to.
That's why my
So
parents
they
got me
were
a cell
like,
phone.
we're gonna buy you a phone, and you better answer it when we call you. And I never kept that thing on. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
hated my cell phone.
No, I got a crappy flip phone when I was in 6th grade because it was my mom's old phone and she got a new one.
I had a
and
nice
she was
Nokia
like, I guess you can
flip
have this.
phone.
I had a pay-as-you-go Virgin Mobile. Like, I had to make the money to put the minutes on it.
Your mom made you pay for that
My
stuff?
mom made my dad. No, my mother didn't care. My dad was like, "You gotta earn the money to put the minutes on this thing. We're not gonna give you the money for it." Like, then why the fuck should you give me a cell phone?
I still have
You
yet to meet
contact
the
me.
one that had a Firefly. Do you guys remember those?
I think I do. Yeah, I think it
It's
was.
one of those like with all the parental controls, right?
Yeah, it was just like a straight up like call text, like your parents type phone.
Yeah. Actually,
those
you know
were
what? I used to
for a
sell
long time.
those. I remember. Like
Really?
before Singular and AT&T merged, I used to work for Singular. This is back in 2006.
Oh, Singular, man. I remember Singular. We used to have them for a while.
Yeah, so this was back in 2006. I started working for them, and I remember selling those phones. It was really weird. Like I would always tell people, like, you know, parents would come in and they're like, "Yeah, I want to get my child this phone." And granted, their child is like 16, and this is the point where the Motorola Razr was the highest selling phone. And all the kids would come in wanting razors, and their parents would try to stick them with the shitty phone. It was always hilarious to me.
You know, everyone wanted the Razr flip phones, like the
Mhm.
I remember
Motorola
my dad had
ones.
a
Like,
Razr.
I remember
but I
when
used to think that those were the hottest fucking phones around. Like, those were the iPhones before
Yeah.
iPhones existed.
The
Do you
first,
guys
the
remember
first
the
new phone I ever had was a Samsung Juke.
Yeah, the Juke, man. I was gonna bring that up.
Oh yeah, that was the first new phone I ever got.
That phone. Oh my god. Wasn't it like?
Such a bad phone.
It was like a quarter of the size of this. If.
Yep, but twice as thick.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I'm trying to Google the Samsung Juke so I can remember what
It was the one where you like push it on the side and it like flipped out.
Flips
you know?
open. And it's just like,
It was
yeah.
so thin. Yeah.
Like, it was basically useless as a phone.
Oh yeah.
My
was so easy
first
to
cell
break,
phone was
too.
that
Like, you could
fabled
Oh my
Nokia.
god,
Half
it's
so easy.
the Razor! Like, not the Razor, but like, I know what you're talking about.
My first phone was that fabled Nokia brick,
Yeah, my
like
dad.
the one
had
that
one
was
of those.
fucking indestructible.
Yeah, my dad.
I
had one of
loved those. My dad had one, and I loved
That
it.
thing worked till the day he switched to a flip phone, and it
Right?
still works to this day.
They still fucking work. I love it.
Like the faceplate he had for it is all broken and janky, but the phone itself works perfectly. It's really scary.
Like, just give it a year. That's what hipsters are gonna be walking around with. Just walking around with fucking the old school Nokia phone. This is gonna be a good time.
My first phone that I remember my parents ever getting me, like my first like new phone, like I had a slide out. My first phone ever was a flip phone Nokia. And it was that red one that was like red on the outside, but like it was still a flip phone. If that makes any sense to
I think I
anyone.
know which one you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those that had like the antenna that pulled out. And I hated that phone. And I remember my dad threatening me. He was like, "Do you want a cell phone? Do you want one?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "I'll stop paying for it if you're not going to use it." And I was like, "Fucking stop paying for it. I don't want it." And then I got a slide-out keyboard, like Nokia, that was
Oh, yeah,
like
I remember when those things were
it
the
was
shit.
a blue.
I remember
Yeah,
those
it
were
was like
really
a
popular.
small blue Sprint phone, and I loved that phone. I still love that phone, like to this day, because that's when I actually used my phone. So I liked having a cell phone.
Right.
And then after that, I got a Galaxy S1. Back when the the
Damn.
Galaxies first started, I had the first Galaxy, and that made me hate Android. So after that, I switched to iPhone, and I had an iPhone 5 for years.
Same.
I had an
Yeah,
iPhone
but-
5 for years, and now I have an iPhone 6, and that's still what I have. Like, hi, this is my phone.
Yeah.
I
I used to have a G1, a T-Mobile G1, which was the first Android phone, and I've stuck with Android ever since. It's such an easy operating system. And the thing is, I've never liked Apple products because iTunes fucked my computer really like.
iTunes
My
is a
last
shitty
iPhone.
fucking program. Like,
Mhm.
I hate. I'm like, people will be like, "You use Apple products," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do," but I don't agree with either operating system as a whole. Like, I would rather not use either. So I'm just taking which one's like less janky for me.
And see, I love Android to this day. I mean, my first Android phone was the Samsung Captivate. That thing was great until it just like fucked itself super hard and just died on me. But I loved that. That was my first smartphone. Before that, I had a knockoff BlackBerry, which was just like a solid brick phone with a keyboard. Before that, I had a flip phone, and before that, I had an even more basic flip phone.
I miss flip
My
phones.
first smartphone was the Droid 2.
And you know what's
that-
funny?
I had that
Tiny
one for
little
so long.
tiny kiddos that are listening. When you break your phone as someone who has to pay for it for the first time, and you have to drop like $200 to $300 on a brand new phone using your upgrade contract thing, you will realize how much you hate technology. And that was exactly my experience of breaking my phone and having to go pay for a new one.
That's why I'm glad I have T-Mobile, because they have a payment system where you essentially, you're like, I'm not under contract at all, and they just break up my $800 phone over the course of 20 months. So it's just $40 per bill.
That's nice. That's nice, because it's not even quite like the 2-year contract that they can like try to get you with.
Yeah, I'm with.
Yeah,
Verizon,
like
so
if I
that's
decide
easy.
to cancel my service, they'll bill me for the phone, but
Yeah,
I don't
but-
plan on canceling my service. So it works
Verizon
out.
does kind of the same idea, but when I had to do my first phone, because my Captivate, that thing fucking died on me. Like, it just shit itself. So I had to do, and at the time I was with AT&T, which, fuck AT&T, go fuck yourselves, go die in a hole.
I've been with Sprint since
You
like,
built
I
me
started
for
having a
internet
cell
service
phone.
that I never fucking used, so fuck yourselves.
Fucking, do you guys remember like almost clicking the internet on your old ass phones and like having to backspace that shit into eternity so you didn't get the data charges?
Yeah, but I paid in total with the early term fee and all the extra shit like $700
Fuck
just
that.
because my phone died. I'm like,
God.
shit, I have to get a new phone. Like, I don't have any other way for people to contact me right
Yeah,
now.
no, like I was
Look.
like, this is literally my phone line. Like, I have to have a cell phone.
For emergency purposes, the best way to do it is go to Walmart and buy the prepaid phone for that
Carrier?
line. Yeah, like go to Walmart, get a prepaid phone for that carrier, and just slip your SIM card into the prepaid phone. Usually you can get a prepaid phone for like $20, and that way you at least have a line. No,
And my
it's gonna
dad
be a
literally
shitty phone.
uses a prepaid phone because it's just cheaper, and I was like, I might join that train if I didn't need to check my fucking email on this goddamn phone.
I have three other people. Yeah, 3 other people on my phone plan, so I can't do that.
See, I'm still on my parents' plan, which is
My mom is on my plan. Like, that's where we reached.
I can foresee it going this way where my
Like,
parents
that's
are
where
on
it
my plan.
reached.
Because
Because
like
you-
technically I'm on my parents' old plan, but I'm the only phone line on it. So technically my parents can still pay for my plan, but like it's weird because I'm the only phone on the plan. And that's just due to like weird living situations and how it's worked. But when my parents come back to the States, they're gonna be on my phone plan. I know it. And it's gonna get weird. I'm just gonna be
that's-
like, I'm getting a burner phone. Fuck off.
Like, I send a PayPal invoice to my mother every month for her phone bill. It's really weird. Like, Mom, you owe me $70 for your phone bill, and she pays me for it. It's really weird.
No, dealing with parents and shit, like, I'm sitting with my mom about my taxes right now, and this just might be, like, me being a baby, but, like, I'm talking to my mom. My mom is mad at me currently, internet, like, for whatever reason my mom is mad at me for. I have no idea, which just shows what I didn't do. And
What didn't you do, Allie?
I didn't do anything. I just existed, and my mom is mad at me. Like,
Okay.
it's a mother thing. It's
What
a
is
mother
she
thing.
mad
It's
at you
mom logic.
for?
We talked about mom logic earlier, but my mom is mad at me right now.
My mother doesn't have mom logic. My dad got the mom logic.
It's so weird. It really is because not all moms have the mom logic. Not all dads have the mom logic, but some do. Like, but my mom's having the mom logic right now where she's mad at me for like existing, and I'm like, okay. But she's like, I need you to send me your W-2s, and I'm like, remind me. And she doesn't want to talk to me, so she's not reminding me. So the W-2s are not getting sent, and I'm like, Mommy, I have to do my taxes, and you know how to do that, and I don't. So please just tell me how to do it.
TurboTax, it's like
Yeah,
5 seconds.
TurboTax.
It's the
We are
easiest
about
shit.
to do TurboTax, but she's like, I want to do it with you. And I'm like, but you don't even want to
Allie,
talk to me. And
Allie,
I
you
need to
don't
get my
need help.
taxes
It-
done.
You don't need help.
It holds
Like,
your hands. It holds
I've
your
been doing my taxes on TurboTax for like 5 years. I can tell you, like I do other people's taxes on it. It's really fucking like as long as you're not itemizing expenses, it'll take like
I
an
have,
hour.
I have no idea how that shit works.
even
so
with
I doubt that
itemized
I would be
expenses, it's not that
itemizing
bad.
expenses.
I had to do itemized expenses 1 year. It's not that bad.
Like it'll tell you what it needs, and you just
Yeah.
plug in the information.
It'll
Like,
be like, put in
what's
your
your-
information from your W-2. Put in your information from your 1099 div. Put in your information from your college thingy. I don't remember.
I wouldn't know how to get my 1099 div, though.
You don't need your 1099 div unless you have investments.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I was
I'm
I'm
like,
the only person who needs to
I
worry
was
about
like
that.
random. I don't even know what my 1099 div is.
1099
Like,
div
oh,
is your
fuck.
div- is your dividends from-
1095A. 1095A is for health insurance.
Yeah,
Okay.
which actually
They'll
they
send
don't
it to
need-
you.
I have health insurance until I'm 26. I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
You and me both, girly.
For all you babies out there, like, if you got health
I do-
insurance until you're in your 20s, you're doing good in life.
Ride your parents' insurance like that dick you want. Just ride it.
Yeah, just
hard.
ride it.
Just ride that bitch
Insurance is no fucking joke because I've come in contact with people who don't take my insurance lately, and it is so hard.
hard.
It is so hard to live when people don't take your
You got
insurance.
military, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bitch.
So I have TRICARE, so I've been calling
Yeah.
doctors because I like
Exactly,
need
it's a
to use
bitch.
like a specific type of specialist lately. And so I've been calling and I'm like, do you guys take TRICARE? That's the
They
first
don't.
question I ask, and they're like, no.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
bitch.
like, guys.
Allie, here's your hint for drugs.
Guys.
CVS always takes your insurance. CVS will take your drug insurance.
Really?
Yeah.
I love CVS.
CVS will take. I used to work for them.
CVS is looking out.
You know what? Fuck CVS. I used to work for them, but they will take just about any insurance.
That can be a good and bad thing.
Like they're the whores of the drug industry. They'll take everybody's insurance.
They stopped selling cigarettes.
It's true. I was there when that went through, and people were pissed.
I can only imagine. I was thinking about that as someone who buys cigarettes, and I'm like, there's a specific group of people that's not going to realize that they stopped selling cigarettes until like the 7th time that they go there for cigarettes.
Oh,
and I feel bad for all of those workers.
The retail employees.
I've never gone to CVS for cigarettes, but like still.
6 months down the road, they still have people asking for cigarettes. And like, we don't sell those anymore. You have to go to the gas station next door.
Yeah, no, and it's like people are just like so offended because they're like, you're gonna make me go to the gas station, and it's like, why did you go anywhere different?
True, right?
Just buy your cigarettes at the gas station. Like, you don't need gas. Just go to the gas station.
Speaking of cigarettes, what are like open or public smoking laws where you guys live?
100 feet. You gotta be outside of 100 feet near any open door to a public area.
I mean, I mostly hang out on a college campus where a lot of the people smoke, so like the smoking laws don't actually matter.
Oh, Allie, I wish. My campus banned all smoking on campus.
No, my previous
I'm on a no
college
smoking campus.
banned all smoking.
Including
My current
vapes, by the
campus
way.
did not.
They banned
No, my old
e-cigarettes,
campus
too.
did the same thing. Like my old campus was in the process of banning the e-cigarettes from the dorms. And I was like, as someone who uses an e-cigarette in my dorm room, how? As long as no one complains, like no one fucking cares.
That's true.
It's for those few assholes that blew smoke in someone's face on the elevator. That's exactly what this
And
whole
the
thing
thing
is
is,
for.
like, with my college campus, you can sit in your fucking car, and they can't do anything because it's technically your own property. So,
It's
they
like,
can't
dude, if
tell
I
you to
just have
stop smoking.
smoke billowing out of my window of my car, like, and someone's like walking by and being like, tobacco.
Now they're like, fuck you, my property.
Yeah, it's like, I'm in my car, bitch.
Choke on my dick.
Choke on my dick.
Choke on my fag, yo.
I'm just smoking my fag, man. I'm just smoking it. But no, where I go to college now, like, everyone smokes, so
And, all
it
right,
doesn't matter.
follow-up question: how much is it per pack of cigarettes where you guys live?
Like $10. I pay $10.13 a pack.
New York is the worst.
Oh my god.
New York
I
is
pay
fucking
$10.13 a pack.
I spent
That
like
is
I
20
spent,
cigarettes. That
I
is
spent
50 cents a cigarette.
I spent just under $7 for a pack here.
That's
Like,
what
it's
it is in
I
Georgia.
would rather
that's what
have
it is here,
that.
too.
I
Like,
would
no,
rather
New
have
York-
that.
New York is the worst. They pay basically double.
It's gross because in
Insane.
Missouri, where I was before, like, it
There's
was
no tax.
$5 a pack of cigarettes.
There's basically no tax on their cigarettes.
No, my cigarettes didn't even matter, and I didn't even smoke as many. And up here, I'm like, yo, like, I live in a very stressful situation. Like, I know that cigarettes are bad for me, but, like, come on. We all have our crutches. That's one of mine.
Yeah, when
And
I
it's fucking $10 a pack.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
When
I
much
just did
longer
a,
are
I
you
just did a
smoking?
Google search of the cost of cigarettes per pack, and for all 50 states, and the highest is New York at $12.85 on
oh
average.
yeah,
That's the city. In the city, in New York City, it is
In New-
illegal to smoke cigarettes if you're under the age of 21. You cannot buy cigarettes in New York City.
yeah, New York City is
because-
fucking crazy.
It's
Too
just
cheap
because
for
they straight up
Virginia
just
and
don't want
Missouri.
people to smoke. Because they were sick of people that were smoking clogging up the sidewalks. So they were like, we're going to raise the age. And I didn't know that until one day I found myself in the city and I was like, man, I'm glad I bought cigarettes before I came down here. And people were like, yeah, you are because you're not 21, right? And I was like, what? They're like, dude, you can't even buy cigarettes here if you're not 21. And I was like, bruh, I already got to deal with that with my booze in the United States.
I turned
like,
18, and at the time I smoked black cloves. I fucking ordered them from
Black
overseas.
cloves.
Yeah, I ordered 2 fucking cartons from overseas for like $40.
I started smoking on Newport, so I feel you.
Yeah, black cloves until I was like 19 or 20.
I live on a campus that's well known for being a Birkenstock wearing clove smoking cigarette vegetarian like union.
Look,
and I'm like,
look,
oh my god. It's so
Kids,
true.
Look, kids, let's have a real talk, okay? If you're gonna smoke, don't smoke cloves. Those things are fucking awful for you. They're
Don't smoke
worse-
Newports either.
Yeah, they're
Go for
worse
like
than
shitty
normal
like
cigarettes.
golds or like
okay.
whatever.
Like, like before I basically quit, I was smoking Parliaments. Those are far better for you. Like, they're still awful for you.
I smoke Marlboro 27s.
Yeah. Oh, like I smoked Camel Wides for a long time.
I smoked Camel Turkish Royals for a while.
Campbell's soup? You smoke soup?
I smoke soup, and then I smoke.
You're so legit. You just have like a can of soup, you just like lighting it on fire.
Like, hold up, man. Hold up. I gotta light up this chowder.
Guys, I gotta like take a hit off my broccoli.
My fucking tomato is just on point.
My tomato soup.
Nah, the chunky's where it's at.
The chunky. I'm all about that Progresso.
The fucking chicken and dumpling.
I only smoke Progresso because that shit is progressive.
Man,
No.
I'm trying to save money. I smoke
Welcome
store
to the
brand.
Enemy Association.
I smoke store brand.
Really, what the fuck is going on with you people?
The drunkening is
We're
on.
talking about smoking cigarettes as if it were soup.
We're talking about smoking soup cans.
Yeah, I
Smoking
heard, and I'm
cigarettes.
like, you're not
Oh.
making any fucking sense.
You just don't smoke cigarettes. Fuck you.
Sarah, if you'd smoked for any amount of time, it would make a little more sense. Not a lot, but
Not cigarettes.
Okay, it's funny, Random, when I think about my progression of how I smoke cigarettes, I started at Newports and I went to Marlboro Blacks for a while.
okay.
And I don't understand how the fuck I ever got to
My-
Blacks.
my
but, like,
progression-
I got there.
My
And then
correct
I went from
progression
Blacks
was
to Newports, but although I was kind of like a weird like Marlboro Southern cut like bitch for a certain time, but I ended up falling out 27th and staying there.
my progression was I smoked whatever the fuck I could get my hands on because I was 16, and then I turned.
I had my neighbor buy me a pack of Newports when I was 16.
I had my neighbor buy me a pack of cloves. So then at 18, I ordered like 2 fucking cartons from India. Yeah, so I get 2 cartons of black cloves. Like I smoked those for a while, and then I quit. And then I started smoking again. I started with Camel 99s, and then I moved to Parliaments.
My progression
Parliament
was
Ultras.
oh god, it was a while. Started with Newports, then to Turkish Silvers, and then
Turkish
to
Silvers.
then to Parliaments, and then to Camel Crushes, and then the Silver Camel Crushes, and then I
You know
was
the
on down
cigarettes
until
that I will always give people shit over when they get me one?
Menthols?
No, Marlboro Red. I always
okay.
give people shit over smoking Reds.
Nah, even at my height, I couldn't smoke Cowboy Killers. I couldn't do it. So,
See, no, when people hand me a Red, like when I asked to like bum a cigarette off someone, like this is totally like just like a weird party thing, but when people whip out Reds, I'm like, you smoke Reds? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, that's the douchebag cigarette, bro. And
People
then I
would bum-
take it and smoke it anyway.
people will bum people bummed 99s off me for a while, and I switched to Camel Lights for a while. But like they bummed 99s off me, and they're like, "What the fuck, man?" I'm like, "Come on, okay."
Oh my
You're
god.
fucking bumming a cigarette off of me. Don't start.
I've had this girl in my obesity, like, biology, science lab class in college. She messages me every couple of days, and she's like, hey, will you pick me up a pack of cigarettes? And I'm like, sure. Because she pays me in cash, so I don't mind. Because, like, I live off campus and stuff like that, so I just stop on the way. But she smokes Marlboro Golds. And I'm like, I can't even bum from you and get what I want out of it.
Yeah, my cousin smokes Marlboro Golds. I'm like, come on.
My mom smokes Marlboro Ultra Light 100s, and that was the first cigarette I ever smoked in my life.
This looks like smoking
And
like
children,
air.
let me just say, I do not condone smoking
No,
cigarettes
no,
because
like,
I think that
don't
you're the
start.
worst.
Don't start.
Don't fucking start. I am.
Don't
20
pick it up.
Yeah,
Don't
like,
pick
I
it up
started.
because you think it's what adults do. That's
I
why
started when I was 16. I am now
I
almost
also started
25.
when I
I
was
am
16.
still not done smoking.
Listen
I
to
still
your
haven't quit.
I started
almost
when
done.
I was 16.
I was a pack-a-day smoker for 7 years,
Don't.
and I
It's-
still I quit 2.5 years ago, and I still get cravings.
Yeah,
So-
like they don't go away. The cravings never go away. I haven't had a cigarette in like a month, and I still crave one. Like it doesn't go away. Don't start.
And the thing about me is that personally, I'm a
Good for
cold
Uncle
turkey
Random.
person. I can quit smoking whenever I want to. But the thing is that like with smoking, it's weird because it's almost like a feeling that you could be aiming for when you want a cigarette.
Exactly.
And so like if you're having a good mood, you want a cigarette. If you're having a bad time, if you're stressed out, you want a cigarette.
if you're drinking, you want a cigarette.
Because it's not even about what you
Especially.
feel from the cigarette. It's just the action of smoking.
Exactly. That's the same for me. I don't have nicotine addiction.
And it's
The
like, I
nicotine
don't
doesn't
have
bother
a
me.
thing for the nicotine at all. I like a good Nick Buzz when I get one. They don't happen that often anymore.
It's the
But like,
action
if
of
they
smoking,
happen,
yeah.
yeah, if they happen, you're like, nice. But if not, it's like, no. But the first time you smoke a cigarette, children, you're going to get a head rush from hell. You're going, no matter what it is. I smoked, my first cigarette ever was a Marlboro Ultralight 100, and I got the worst headache from it in my fucking
I
life.
started with Black Cloves. Like,
I started with
I went
Newport
from
100s.
Ultralight 100s, and then I went to Newports. Newports are the worst cigarettes you can ever smoke, children, because they have fiberglass in the filters.
yeah, same with, I think Marlboro used to. I don't know if they do anymore. I know Camels are cotton. That's why I smoked Camel 99s, because they're cotton.
That's why I stopped smoking Turkish Royals, because I really liked Turkish Royals. And I was like, Camels are really bad for you, though. I shouldn't
true.
do this. It's like, if I'm gonna smoke, let's make it not as bad for you.
That's
as
why I switched to Parliaments, man. They're double filters, and they got a space. They got a spacer. They're like
A lot
still
of
awful for you, but
You know, I go to college in a place now where a lot of people roll their own cigarettes.
yeah.
And
I
like,
had-
do you have a
I have that.
stigma about that? Because like,
Fucking
before
rollies,
I moved
man.
up here, I'm like, if you roll your own cigarette, you're a piece of shit. And then I moved up here, and everyone like rolls their own cigarettes, and I'm
I had a friend in high school who would roll his own, and it's just like he's
in
like,
high school.
yeah, in high school, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I know. Anyway, so he'd roll his own, and the thing was that like he's like, yeah, I like rollies, but I seriously get 3 puffs and it's dead because they're not packed tight enough.
Yeah, like that's
So
really.
he's
not-
like, I just have people buy me Marbs because they're like, I prefer them. They're packed tighter, and I get like a lot more puffs off of them.
It's like, bitch, you own the tobacco. Pack it tighter.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he packed them like he packed joints, and you can't do the same. You can't pack them the same way.
No, yeah, you can't pack those the same.
Like
way.
he'd hand roll joints. And
Hey, we're exposing our shit, but like no, with
Whatever, I don't
cigarettes,
care.
when you roll them, like you get a nice clump of tobacco, and you put
Yeah,
it
you want
on,
a clump.
and then you unclump it. Like
Exactly. With weed, you don't necessarily want to do that.
with weed, you run that shit over the whole thing, and then you roll it.
I mean, to be fair, all
and
my
I
weed
don't
smoking was
even
pipes.
roll, guys. I don't even roll. Like I will
Yeah.
straight up give that responsibility to someone else.
I did pipes and bongs, man. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
never
I'm a
rolled that
pipe
shit.
and bong person. Like
Like
I
I
don't
rolled
roll.
a couple, and I'm like, man, like I just want a pipe. I just want a pipe, man. That's all I want right
You know, like I've had someone straight up tell me, like I remember it was this girl from class, and and I think we were gonna smoke together or something. And she was like, "Just so you know, I don't fuck around with that spliff shit." And I was like, "Dude, you are everything I ever wanted because like I don't fuck with that spliff shit
Fuck
either.
spliffs. Fuck spliffs.
You don't mix your weed and your tobacco, guys."
Drug talk with Allie and Random.
Drug talk with Allie and Random, like straight
you
up,
know
like.
what?
Those two things can be separate, and they don't need
Much
to go
better
together.
separate. Thank you.
They're much better separate because, okay, you have to understand, the reason they should be separate is because weed goes deep into your lungs, tobacco should not.
Yeah.
That's
And
how
they
you
burn,
get cancer.
And they burn at different temperatures.
They burn at different temperatures, and you get cancer at different ways with both of them,
Amen.
guys. And
Real talk.
if you mix them together, then you're gonna get cancer. Like, straight up, that's how you get lung cancer, guys.
Sarah, you had
Okay.
something to say?
Yeah.
Sarah,
Sarah, we keep seeing you
come
pop
back.
up. Come back to us, Sarah.
I miss you. Come back to me.
She was probably gonna scold all this talk.
I
No,
know
no,
what
no,
she-
no, no,
I know
no.
what
I
she
was
was
not
gonna
gonna.
say.
Ellie knows it's fine. I decided not to say it. I changed my mind.
Okay, go back to your Yahweh if you must.
You should join in. I love you, and I'm
You
like
should join
drunk,
Drunk
girl.
Talk, man.
Like, come
Drunk Talk
on.
with Allie,
Yeah,
Sarah.
but you know how I am when I'm like get at this time of night, especially with what I've been doing.
Yeah, I know. Is it gonna be like that weird shit you showed me that one time?
No, no. And how dare you bring that up?
That's why I was Vegas. Fuck with
Oh,
it.
good.
I love that you know, though.
I'll be right back.
Guys, no one understands. Me and Sarah are synced across borders.
We are synced. Praise be Jesus.
We are synced across borders. Holla.
I told him when I like first came out, Allie and I are really tight. Like,
Yep.
she's like my best friend online right now.
We are such good friends.
We really are. I don't even know how it started. It just like it was like we didn't talk at all, and the next day we were best friends.
Well, okay, funny story, anyone listening right now, is that, like, me and Sarah actually weren't supposed to like each other for a while.
You know, yeah, because stupid
Because
politics.
technically we were, like, involved in the same drama, but on opposite sides.
Oh my god.
And then we were just like, why do we not like each other? And started talking. And now, like, she is my best friend.
Legit, I'm so glad all that like backdoor drama that has never seen the light of day is
I
like
wish
over
that I
with.
could tell the internet about how stupid all that drama was.
It was so dumb. I was like,
Guys,
why,
like, literally,
though? Why did
drama
I
in
let
your
myself
life-
get sucked into that?
Drama in your life ain't worth it. Like, this is honest life tips from Allie as someone who has lived. Drama ain't worth it. Just make friends where you can. And if you can't be friends, then, like, fuck it.
That's
Allie, you've been dishing the life tips. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. I mean, Lou knows what's up with the drama of this community. Like, you just don't fuck with it.
yeah.
If you don't fuck with it, then you're happier.
Exactly. Like I'm more of the spectator that likes to throw like more gas on the fire. Like that's how I live. Like I'm an instigator. That's why like whenever like going
I've
back a
never
couple
actually
years.
seen you, like, instigate anything, though.
Oh no. Like whenever like for example Jimmy is going to do something stupid, I encourage it.
I
That's
know
why
that you do. Okay, like,
all
yeah,
the
no, I
time.
know
It's
about
just-
that.
Do a flip. Please. Entertain me.
It's fun when
Project
Jimmy does
J.
stupid shit.
Oh. Project J is the best. I named it. And
Yeah.
that meme has evolved beyond my control. It was great.
You know, there's already been enough Jimmy Dragon in this podcast that I'm not going to perpetuate it. But, like, man, lately, let me just say, some tweets have been like, damn, son.
What? About Jimmy? Jimmy's my
Yeah.
boy. He's cool. I get
He's
along
cool,
with
but some tweets sometimes I'm like, damn, son.
Eh,
This is live. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but you know.
it's okay. Worst case scenario, we could always pull the live stream, and it's only 18 people watching. But that aside, yeah, he's cool. I have no problems with Jimmy.
It's like
I'm
he
always
just
honest
makes, he
about
just
my
makes
dreams.
bold statements sometimes.
Yeah, he just says a lot of shit sometimes that I'm just like, we
No, I
could have
respect.
done well.
No, I respect the fuck out of him for voicing whatever his opinion is.
I agree. I respect it, but at the same time, sometimes I'm like, yo, this could have been handled with a lot more tact.
You're not wrong. I'm sure he would acknowledge that.
True, true. Because there are just sometimes, like, when you say things publicly, sometimes it's like, you probably shouldn't have said it that way. Especially with how, like, the political climate is now. Like,
This is incredibly the funniest thing about this entire live stream. This is just in the distance. It was so perfect. You could tell he was in the distance, but you could understand perfectly what he said.
exactly.
It was on point.
That was well timed. That was perfect. That was saving me from being on the spot. But I put myself there, so it's okay.
Sometimes I got it.
Sometimes you do got it, yo. Sometimes you do got it.
But yeah, so I will say that the community has definitely gotten better about its drama. Sure, when big shit happens, you know, people choose sides and there are
There hasn't
separate
been a lot of
side
big
problems.
shit though in months, which has made me really happy because like from the time that I joined the community, which was probably about like 2 years ago or so, 2 or 3 years ago that we're going on now, but like the drama back then was just so like it permeated everything. And now we've reached a point where like that doesn't necessarily happen, and
Yeah,
that makes
I think
me
it's
happy.
I think it's because the people that were around at that part of the community has grown up, and they're still involved with the younger generation regulating shit. So it's like everybody's being the good senpai right now and keeping all the little weirdos
Because I
in line.
think, yeah, we've all kind of, like, gone through that awkward, like, I guess, like, weird 15-year-old phase of, like, no one actually really likes us, but then we kind of get to the point where we know how to handle ourselves better.
Mhm.
And so, like, people start to like us, and we're just like, guys, like, this is how you do it. We've been there. We've done that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like, look, if you don't like someone, then just don't talk about them. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Because, like, I've experienced a good few possible projects that could have been great things if they didn't just have to talk shit. Like, there's just some points where, like, you have to realize, kiddos, like, just don't talk shit. And I feel bad because I was just talking shit. But I'm drunk, so there's a little bit to be left of leeway in some ways. Other than that, like, tomorrow you can quote me on this shit, and I got you. But, like, but for the most part, no.
You are a G, Allie. Oh shizzle.
Amen.
What the fuck are you doing, random?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You just don't
Okay.
want to know.
That's fine. I've been in that house before.
I'm not gonna forget how I,
Been
like, screamed earlier tonight when you pulled out, like, this fucking, like, screen.
It's still there in the background, and no one has commented on it. Dude is a
That
fucking
was the
weirdo.
greatest thing that I ever, like, have seen in my life. Just random coming out with, like, a fucking, like, otaku screen.
Oh, wait. What? Did I okay.
We're
Whatever,
making fun of you, and you just have missed it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's great. Whatever. Like, I have a wireless headset, but it doesn't reach as far as I'd like. So.
It's mainly just because, like, earlier when we got on this live stream, you totally just came out of nowhere with, like, this, like, fucking screen to block out your doorway from, like, the hallway.
Oh, are we talking about this?
Yes!
Okay, okay, to be fair, I bought this in like January because I'm like, man, I'm gonna get back into the YouTube community, man. I'm gonna start doing this shit again.
I'm gonna have a background.
Like, I'm gonna be professional. I'm gonna like chroma key this and have like footage playing across the white. Which, by the way, don't try chroma keying white; it doesn't work. I'm like, I'm gonna be professional. I'm gonna have a cool ass like little gimmick. I'm gonna come back. I haven't made a video in like 6 months. It's like 9 months. I don't know. It's been almost a year. It's been a while.
Random. I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm about to start making videos again, and they're gonna be good. And then I'm like, the second I'm, like, about to start, like, writing a script out for a video, something bad will happen in my life, and I'm just like, yo.
What you need to do is just script on your phone. Like, that's what I do. Like, I'll script on my phone, and usually what I'll do is I'll use the text-to-speech or the speech-to-text function, and I'll just talk out my scripts, and then I'll go back and edit them before I record.
That would be a good idea, because I spend so much time in my car that I could see myself using that as, like, an actual tool for making sure that I have scripts out. But
Man, all my scripting happens when I'm like falling asleep, and I have like a perfect script. Like, man, I'm eloquent. I sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Holy shit, this is a great script. And I wake up and I'm like, huh? Tater tots and
Tater tots!
tater tots and Eggos, man. Like, my brain just
Tater
goes.
tots and Eggos, yo.
No,
Like,
but,
I have
inter-
ideas for scripts, man. I have a stack of like 12 movies I want to review.
Like, speaking of ideas for scripts, I actually got really involved in working on one project, and I wrote a lot. I honestly don't remember the word count, but I ended up scrapping it because of a podcast that I saw. And the basic concept of the script was an analysis of trans characters and trap characters as a trope versus
I feel
trans
like I
characters.
remember this time period.
Hold on, I'm
Yeah, I
getting
remember
there.
talking about it.
And all of that tying into authorial intent.
Oh man,
So
that would be a great
Yeah.
fucking
That'd be
video.
awesome.
yeah, no, I know I wrote several pages on it, and it's just once like because it was a procrastinators podcast. It was one of Digi's podcasts, and they were talking about authorial intent, and I like once they started making their points, everything was tying into what the points I was going to make, and that just de-incentivized me. So that's something that's been happening a lot.
That's always the
Is
worst.
that since that I'll come across I'll come up with ideas, and then I'll see that people are making those ideas. So it kind of makes my scripts redundant, so I just don't make them, which is part of the
That's
reason
why
why I can take.
I haven't personally made a video about Ava.
That's why I almost
my
didn't.
problem.
But I did
I mean,
anyway.
Jack, you did it in a refreshing way enough where like I really respected it, but it also was like another reason to not make a video about Ava. Like,
Yeah.
because the way you did it was like the reasons why I watched Ava, and I appreciated that. But you did it also in a way that was like kind of reviewing it, but not really reviewing it, and I also really appreciated that. And you did it so eloquently, and I was like, no. Like, I couldn't talk about Ava in such a way. Like, you did it.
I have a hard time motivating myself, but like when I do start working on a project that I'm like actually like into and passionate about, then I can write pretty quickly. And that was one of those. But like for some of my review scripts, sometimes it's more of a chore than anything. No, and I know I get commenters all the time. You're like, "Oh, why haven't you reviewed this?" And it's like because 20 other people have already reviewed it, and I have nothing new to add to the discussion. Pretty
much. I was gonna do a video on what makes a good anime, and it was kind of centered around, why is the anime you consider your favorite anime your favorite anime? I was gonna center it around Fate Stay Night 06 because that was the show that actually got me back into anime. But like I scripted it out, I'm like, this isn't really what I put on my channel usually. I don't really want to deal with.
I'm starting to get to the point where, like, when I finally get back into a place where, like, I'll be able to actually start making content again and, like, doing it pretty regularly, because I will get to that point. I'm sure we will.
Allie, we both will. We'll both just
like, one of these days I will
it.
finally get to the fucking, like, point of, like, the reason I created a YouTube channel. But
we'll just be
when
like,
I get
fuck
there,
it,
I know that it's not going to be all about anime. And it's like I've kind of been trying to like force that to come to terms with myself, like where like no, I'm probably gonna do some vloggy stuff because like I find that fun, and I like having these for myself to look back on. But it's also gonna be about like stuff like films and shows that I watch that aren't anime. Because while I love anime is just another form of storytelling. Like I started this because I love storytelling, and I kind of got like caught up in this group that was talking about anime like as a form of storytelling, and that's where my channel came from. And it's like if I actually want to create content that I can hold myself to creating, it will not always be about anime, because my life is not always immediately, I would say, like influenced by anime. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but not always. And I don't want to kind of like keep myself to that standard, because like I know that a lot of the problems of making content for me were personally like feeling like I needed to do a certain thing. And it's like, no, motherfuckers, this is my channel. I do what I want here.
I started making videos because I was like, hey, maybe I have something to say that not everybody else will say. And some of my reviews, like I try and do series that I literally cannot find a review for. Like, my most viewed review is for the second season of A Certain Scientific Railgun, because no one fucking reviewed it at the time. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'll review it, because I wanted to review it anyway. I hadn't even looked at the time. I was just like, I'm going to review this shit, because I just watched it, and it was awesome. It was great. So that's kind of what I decided what I was going to do with my channel was, hey, these are anime that no one else has reviewed. Another anime was Appleseed 13, which was fucking awful, but no one reviewed it. No one said anything. I'm like, this is shit. This is garbage. Like
that's part of the reason why. That's part of the reason why I reviewed Shoot Fighter Tekken.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's just an OVA that no one's fucking seen, but just why not? I had
Or
fun
like-
watching it, and I wanted to review it because
That's
no
why I
one else
reviewed
had reviewed
That's
it.
why I reviewed Space Battleship Yamato 2199 mostly.
That's why I did Planetus, besides the fact that I fucking loved it. And Allie, we should do a joint review of Library War because no one's
Let's
fucking reviewed
fucking
it.
do it.
Let's fucking do this.
Dude, I'm honestly so down. Like, we can
Fucking,
plan
like,
this. Like,
I need
fucking
to
shoot me a message on Skype and be like, bitch, we're rewatching this shit.
Yeah,
And I'll be
we
like,
can
okay.
rewatch it, and we'll just do a review because I don't know if anyone's ever reviewed it.
As someone who's only, like, read the manga, like, my primary love for the series came from reading the manga. Like,
The
it would be
animes.
amazing to do, like, a review of the anime with someone else
It
who
is
also
blind.
loves it.
Yeah.
Because I totally thought that I was alone in loving that series,
Nope,
and I'm like,
nope.
thank God
It's
I'm
pretty
not
great.
fucking stupid for like loving this random series about defending books.
You know, I had the same problem with Planetus because, like, before I got really involved in the community, and even now, no one's fucking seen that series. No
I
one's
haven't,
watched it.
but I will watch it with
Oh,
you
it's
because we
so
love Library
good.
Wars.
It's so good. Planetus is such an amazing series. And I'm watching another series in the same vein right now. I'm like, man, they took a completely different direction with this. This is like super political and crap. I'm not gonna say what series.
This is
But,
super political and crap.
Like they got like hard into it, and Planetus is not that.
Have you talked about it before on the podcast?
Planetus? Or
No,
Library War?
the other series that you
Oh, the
didn't
other
name.
series? No, I haven't mentioned it because it's relatively.
Okay. I was curious as to if we had mentioned it or not, but now that I don't know. Like, I straight up don't know.
Well, only the first season got licensed in English. The other season, I had to go find it. I had to go hunt it down. I'm like, man, welcome to blanktorrents.com. I have to steal this because no one licensed it.
Wow.
Yeah. I've
That
watched
is
some of those.
dilemma that I have not heard since like past 2010.
Library War was another one of those until relatively recently.
I didn't
No one had
watch that
licensed it.
show. Like, I didn't actually know that it had an anime series until like maybe like a year or so after I started reading it, and then I found out that it had an anime series, and I went looking all over.
It was a
for
bitch to find, man, because I looked it up. I'm
I
like, man,
remember
this is
having a
good.
hard time to find like the illegal Netflix for it. Sorry, internet, but like we all torrent and shit like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking torrent all my raws. All those videos you enjoy, those raws, I torrented those because I can't find them otherwise. I'll be honest, I bought most
Whoa,
of the series.
anti-YouTuber
I know.
exposed.
I know. Like, I bought most of the series. For the raws, there's no other way to get them unless I rip them from the Blu-ray, which I'd have to get another drive for that. That's just bullshit. Fuck that.
Sometimes you have to rip things to make
Sometimes,
it.
like, I was gonna do a review of Scrap Princess, another series I'm super passionate about. I can't find that raw OP anywhere. So for my one video that I mentioned it, I ripped it from the DVD. Like, I straight up ripped the OP from the DVD. That's why it looks like shit. Guys, sorry. But there's nowhere else to get it. I had to rip it from my DVD.
Oh my
Speaking
god.
of, I really need to watch that show.
Fucking
Corpse
it's-
Princess?
Scrap
I need to
Princess
see
is
Corpse Princess.
Scrap Princess is so good.
Scrap Princess. Yeah, I need to see that.
I
Corpse
mean, when you
Princess.
watch it, when I watched Chaika, I saw a lot of the echoes of it, but
See,
not as
I
good.
really liked the feel of Chaika. Like,
It's the same
Chaika was
author.
fun.
Same author.
That explains probably like why
So
I liked
good.
it. I need to go back.
It-
I also really liked Outbreak Company, which he also
Mhm.
did.
Oh my god, Outbreak Company was so much fun for me.
I still need to watch it, but I've heard it's very good.
It's so much fun. It's like a good harem. And that's impossible.
Haganai does that, actually. It makes it a good harem.
Okay, as someone who hasn't seen Haganai, like my first fucking harem was like the one that starts with an O that I can't remember the name of, but I hated it.
I know my
And-
first was Tenchi Muyo.
Oreshura? Was that it? Harem anime that starts with an O.
Yeah, like Orashura is one of the few.
Oh, Orashura. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I hated that one. I
With all the
hated
JoJo
it.
references and all that.
I
It's
hated it.
okay.
I hated it.
As a person who- harem anime are not my wheelhouse.
To be completely honest, that's like the one anime that I've ever seen that I felt like a burning hatred for as I was watching it. Like, I hated it. And then I watched Opera Company, and I was like, this is what a harem is supposed to be.
Haganai is really good because it nurtures the harem, but they make the protagonist quote unquote oblivious to it. But there's a twist with that.
Yeah, I prefer the self-aware protagonist in the harem. So that's why I like Grisaia, because the protagonist is fucking.
I haven't seen Orishura since I was like a 16-year-old female, and I don't know how I would take it now. But like, I know that when I watched it, I hated it with everything that I had in it. Like every single fucking aspect, I hated it.
Most harems I hate too. I'm with you.
Yeah, same. Especially if it has the oblivious protagonist, it's unbearable almost always.
Haganai has the appearance of an oblivious protagonist, but he's not. But that's not revealed until like halfway through season.
So spoilers.
No, that's not like halfway through. Like that's the problem.
He's not oblivious. He just seems like he is.
It's like the one question that I want to ask like these people. I'm like, are you trying to like make a positive piece of media for like the kind of characters that you're trying to portray? Because it's not happening. And it's like, I don't understand. Are you trying to get this across for entertainment? Because it's not really even doing that for me. And also, like, if you're trying to portray men in a positive way, this is not it.
No, because you're portraying Trousers Kun, because you're trying to make them as bland as possible for the male to project themselves onto.
Yeah, and I'm like, are men all this shallow if they can easily portray themselves onto this main character?
We're not.
Yes.
Well, some of us are. Some of us are. It depends upon the series. If I give a shit about the series, I can try. I'm like, man, that character has two mismatched eyes and is kind of smart. I can suspend some disbelief for a minute.
Like, I hate to almost.
It's very
like,
much wish fulfillment fantasy.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I almost hate to be the one that makes that critique, though, because then I'm like, I feel like there's going to be some, like, guy out there that's going to be like, it's only because you're a woman that you think that. And it's like, no. It's just like, I like all characters, and none of these are good characters, especially as men. And, like, I will readily admit that there is a difference between male and female people. There are things that men will never get, and there are things that females will never get about the opposite gender. It's gonna happen. Because we are not each other, we do not know. But, like, with these fucking harems, I'm just like, guys, you are not making a good argument for your gender to the opposite gender at all. Do you think that this is a good idea to, like, make women want to sleep with you? Because it's not.
It's not a good look.
God.
I just want to do a brief
I'm
shout
even
out
gay,
to our
random thing that I did. Random thing that I did not know. Sorry, I just opened my phone because I was getting a bunch of notifications. And apparently, Viz licensed the JoJo anime.
Yeah,
Good.
that happened.
That's awesome.
Good for them.
Hopefully, it gets a proper release, because the DVD release that
They totally will.
it was utter shit. So
They're
I'm glad
gonna,
it's being
like,
done right.
properly release that shit. Like, you can tell by the manga. They're gonna do it right. They're gonna do it right.
Like, I can give Viz shit for a lot of things, like the way that they released Sailor Moon as basically VHS scans.
Yes.
But that having been
As
said,
a Sailor Moon fan, yes.
That having been said, they licensed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hunter x Hunter and JoJo.
Yes.
They licensed both, and they're dubbing
They're
both.
picking up the series that no one else wants to pick up.
But
But
what
deserve it.
Discotech has been doing. They've been picking up older series. They picked up Kino's Journey. They picked up Library War. They picked up Jinro. They picked up another series that's sitting on my shelf that I've completely forgotten, but I ordered. Ghost Stories. There we go. There we go.
Ghost Stories.
They picked up Ghost Stories.
Good.
So, they picked up a bunch of older series, and they're just re-releasing them on DVD, which is fine, because I wish they'd pick up Planetus, because I paid like $120 US for the old Planetus series, because it's out of print, and it's impossible to find. And that was the cheapest.
Man, I picked up fucking, like, I got Code Geass when that shit was a steal. I paid $80 USD for that shit, and that was only for the first season.
And now it's at
And
least
that
like
shit is in like the original like old ass like I got the
Yeah.
original fucking like nice chipboard box that came with the first season.
That was that
And
was
it's
a
like
Bandai,
now that
right?
shit kind of it was a Bandai release.
Fucking Bandai releases. Planetus is one of those, and older Gundams, same problem. You're gonna run into
$80
that.
on eBay, yo, for the whole first season. It was such a good deal at the time.
Although, shout out to Nozomi Entertainment, also known as Right Stuff, for picking up all of fucking Gundam. Hell
Yep.
yeah! Fucking finally, that's been in licensing limbo for years. When Bandai took this shit.
Speaking of licensing limbo, or not really licensing limbo, but just not fucking existing, I'm fully expecting Viz to re-release Monster.
Oh, please.
I saw your tweet about that. and
They
I'd be okay with
better.
that.
Yeah,
I'm-
just
It's
with
coming.
everything that they've been doing as
We
of
never
late in
thought
terms of
that we
their
would
anime,
NGE, and we did. We got the Blu-rays for NGE, and eventually that's gonna come to the States, and I'm gonna like cream my panties over that.
Oh my
shit.
god.
So there are two
My
series.
wallet is gonna have a bad day when
Yeah.
that comes to the States.
Same.
There are a couple series I'm waiting for re-releases. Funimation has the license to Witch Hunter Robin and has been sitting on it since like 2008. So I'm kind of mad about that. And I'm too drunk to remember the other series. Give me a second. But I have Monster right here because it's not I can't find it anywhere. Katana Gatari. There we go.
I have Berserk on my external.
That's
I don't
another
know
one.
where my external hard drive is, but
Right.
like it's in my apartment, and I have Berserk on that because that'll never get a re-release.
Katana Gatari is the series I was thinking of. before I
Katana
jumped on.
Gatari has been on my list forever. I've heard such good things.
Australia
Same.
has a fucking release for it. I have considered importing the Japanese release, which is the same region for Blu-ray. It's like $400,
yeah, no.
and I kind of want it because it's that amazing of a series.
That's like buying an Aniplex release, though.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it's
Oh,
Nisio,
fucking
so it's going to
Aniplex.
be Aniplex licensed.
Yes.
Aniplex will be the only people who will license it, if they license it. So it's going to be $400 no matter what I do.
That's rough.
So, I may as well do it.
Yeah, you might as well import it because
And-
even if it gets released in the States, you'd be like, motherfucker, I bought the import. Like, I don't need.
And the import.
I don't need to double dip.
the import LE box is fucking gorgeous. Like, not even gonna lie, it's gorgeous.
You know what I want released? I want fucking Hajime no Ippo.
Ippo's been a favorite for a long time that needs a release, and Viz should pick it up.
I don't know why the fuck Ippo or Kuroko has never been picked up.
Kuroko was
Like,
picked
they're-
up. I thought Kuroko was picked up by Viz.
Okay, well, that
Am I
would make
wrong?
sense that Viz did it, but at the same time, it took them fucking long enough.
No,
Oh.
Viz. Wait, didn't
Did
Viz
they?
just get the manga?
They might have just gotten the manga. I don't know.
I don't know
the
if they got
anime.
the anime.
Hold on. Let me go to Google.
Because Kuroko is totally a Viz series.
Yeah.
Totally. And I have no idea why they waited so long or why they let, like, Sentai get Haikyuu. I was like, guys, you are missing out on a prime market of people that love sports anime, and
Well, I
you
mean, they
already
got-
let, like,
Viz got the manga for Haikyuu though, so that's just fucking
True.
It looks
True.
like Viz got the manga. Let me finish Googling. Hold on.
I heard the word haiku and I woke up.
We're talking about the Viz. We're talking about Viz licensing the manga.
Oh, yeah.
I heard Haikyuu and I woke up. I love you, Sarah.
Yeah, I know you
When are
do.
you going to Anime Boston?
This week?
I know, but, like, when this week?
On Thursday.
Okay.
I'm
I
fucking
wish I
taking
could
Amtrak.
go. I wish I could go. I'm sorry I have to take Amtrak.
That's okay. Shit happens.
I
Sarah?
hate Amtrak.
Sarah, do you happen to know if Kuroko was licensed by Viz for the anime? 'Cause
I
doesn't
thought it was
look
just the manga.
I think it's just the manga. It looks like it, yeah. Like,
Yeah, no one's
I don't
licensed the anime, but they
understand.
licensed the manga.
Oh, I remember. All right, it was licensed. The anime was licensed in Australia around the
yeah.
time that the manga was licensed by Viz.
Fucking Madman. Shout out to Madman, man. They
know what's
license
up.
everything. They licensed Katana Gatari, and I want to get a Blu-ray player and just import it from them because it's almost cheaper than
I would
buying it from
buy.
Japan.
I've been like debating for the longest time getting a region-free Blu-ray player,
That
like,
would really be such a good investment, honestly. Same.
because then I
Because-
could just import, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
But between Australia and the UK, yeah.
between Australia and the UK, like you get a lot of titles that you cannot get in the US for a cheap price. I should
Oh
say.
yeah, and even some that you can get in the U.S. you can get way
Cheaper.
cheaper.
I mean, to be fair, you can import the Japanese versions if you're going to pay premium because it works on the same Blu-ray player. But that's if you're willing to pay premium for them, which in most cases I'm not. I can't. I can't even pay
I'm so
U.S.
broke.
prices. I can't even
And
buy
I'm
U.S.
like,
prices for
I can't
Monogatari.
even buy manga. Like, I just want to own Oyasumi Pun Pun, and I can't. Like,
It's great. I have the volume 1 sitting on my shelf
it
now.
looks so
It's-
beautiful.
it
Is
is
it
fucking
as
great.
beautiful as I think it is?
It is. I prefer the original covers. I think the original
Fair.
cover was much nicer, but it's pretty good.
I don't expect much when I'm only getting an omnibus, but like at the same time, I'm glad that it's even being released.
Okay,
For something
so it
like
looks
Pun
like
Pun. Yeah.
looks like a Samsung multi-region Blu-ray DVD player on Amazon right now is $179.
Shit, for some of the stuff you can get from
Region
Australia and
free.
the UK, that's well
That's not
worth
bad.
it. It's well worth it.
Region free with Wi-Fi.
Damn.
Oh. That's a good investment because personally, someone who uses my PS3 as a Blu-ray player, like I would rather have just like a straight up Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I mean, I have an Xbox One. So I just use that as my
Yeah.
Blu-ray player.
Well, like that's
I mean,
how I am with my PS3 though.
yeah, I mean, same idea.
Same
Except,
idea,
you know-
but like at the same time, then I could just import shit, and it
It's
wouldn't
true.
matter. I wouldn't have to be like, but do I have the Blu-ray player? Do I have the capabilities to play this DVD?
I mean, that is the upside. Is it upscales DVDs too.
True.
So like the series I'm watching now that I haven't mentioned yet, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's from like 2006 and it's on DVD, so it's not bad.
You haven't mentioned it at all.
I mean, I haven't told you the name. I've mentioned it.
I'm guessing that it's like NHK.
No, I've already finished NHK.
Okay.
Like I stopped at episode 16 because it was fucking me up too hard,
Yep.
and then I picked it back up and finished it in one day.
We've all
Is
been
it one you
there,
really
we've all
like?
done
I love NHK. It's so good. But the series I'm kind of 50-50 on so far.
that. Oh, so you're watching this for the first time?
Yes, I am. I got one DVD in a blind box from Crunchyroll, and I picked up the remaining two.
Hmm.
I'm
So
trying
it's
to
lessons
think.
by ADV. There's your hint.
Is it one that would be like fairly popular that we would have heard of?
I literally never heard of it until I got the first DVD.
Oh, okay.
So probably not.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know what? I'll just give it. It's Moonlight Mile.
Moonlight Mile. I've never heard of that.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
It's not bad. My main problem with it is that the pacing's kind of weird. It tries to take a Planetes-like spin, but make it more about the politics on Earth as opposed to what's going on in orbit above Earth. And it's weird. Like, it looks good. There's a lot of tits. So
There's a
tits.
lot of tits.
Okay, I'll give them credit for this. They show the main character banging chicks, like, constantly. Like, the first
Wish fulfillment though.
6 episodes, he's just banging chicks left and right. It's
Good for
great.
him.
Like, power to him. They show him just, like, going at it. There's tits everywhere. It's great. The actual plot, on the other hand, I'm not sure if it falls flat or not. I haven't decided yet. So.
But it falls pretty flat.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, but it hasn't, like... The only plot right now is that the two main characters want to go to space. That's really the only plot. And they're weaving shit in there, like
You know,
covert government
This kind of
agencies.
feels like my arguments towards Cowboy Bebop because I love Cowboy Bebop. Don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to shit on no Cowboy Bebop because I love it. I do. Faye Valentine as a character meant a lot to me, and so did Spike Spiegel. I love them all. But at the time of watching Cowboy Bebop, I just remember being like, where's the real plot? I understand that this is more episodic, but if you're going to introduce, an overarching plot, and then basically touch on it in the very beginning, a little bit in the middle, and then, heavily at the end, where's the plot? If it's going to be that
Because it is,
important.
it's I would say it's 90% episodic.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very
But
true.
that plot still matters. And I just remember sitting down and watching Cowboy Bebop and being like, all right, I can tell that this plot matters to, understanding, at least Spike's story and, who Julia is as a character in general, but, why are we not spending more time on this? You could do exactly the same amount with these characters if you were including an overarching plot than if you were making this episodic.
It's very true. And I had a friend who mentioned to me, look, if you take all 3 character arcs in the series and just separate them out and watch them chronologically, they're boring as fuck and not very good. And the only reason that Cowboy Bebop is so good is because of the way that they pace things and the way that they interleaf everything.
And I understand
and a lot of
It
its
could've
individual
been
stories
more.
are fantastic. Yeah.
Because
Have to kind
no one's gonna say that every single episode of Cowboy Bebop was good. Because there were certain
not at all.
episodic bits that were just the fuck. This is the worst episode of Cowboy Bebop I've ever seen.
For instance, if you watch Jet's story arc all the way through, it's boring as fuck. His story arc is not very good, but because you interleaf it with Spikes, you interleaf it with Faye's, you interleaf it with Edwards, you get a really interesting story because you have to wait, and it builds the intrigue for you. Even if you're marathoning it, you have.
And
intrigue.
as someone who loves storytelling, it's clever of the people who made Cowboy Bebop.
Absolutely.
It's clever. And
Genius.
it's people think that I'm talking down on it as a story device is me shitting on the entire series. No! It's fucking brilliant!
Cowboy Bebop is easily in my top 5 anime of all time.
I was just
Easily.
about to say,
Cowboy Bebop
I
as
agree.
something-
I agree completely, and it's in my top
Oh my
5
god,
too.
even its cinematography is fucking fantastic.
It's gorgeous. To this
No,
day.
it knows exactly what it's doing and it actually has theory.
I need to
everything.
rewatch the Blu-rays.
Yeah, I was
I've-
watching the
I've only
Blu-rays
ever
with.
seen the broadcast. I own the Blu-rays. I haven't seen them yet.
I don't own the Blu-rays, and that's
I-
all I want to own. I
bought
own the
2
DVDs.
copies.
You can
I
get them
bought
cheap.
2
You
copies
can
of
get
the
them. You can get the Blu-rays like $30.
Yeah,
I have the literally old ass DVD copies.
I was watching Bebop with my girlfriend who hasn't watched it yet. So we were working through it, and I'm watching the Blu-rays, and they're in 1080p or upscaled to whatever. They're still in 4:3, but I'm watching it on a 60 hertz monitor or a 60 hertz TV. They look fucking amazing. Doesn't look like they've
Dude,
aged at all.
as someone who studies film and looking at the cinematography, there is literal intent with the cinematography. It's fantastic.
It's
It
amazing.
is as a piece of artwork, Cowboy Bebop is its own thing. But in terms of narrative storytelling and narrative plotting, it's not done well.
No, it's very basic. And
It is
the only,
very
the only
basic.
reason that it holds
The
up so well
episodic
is
feeling doesn't necessarily work for the story as a whole.
it only works
But
because they
it's
interleaf
the
everything.
characters. For whatever reason of Cowboy Bebop, Cowboy Bebop was so perfect that it had everything going for it. That the parts where it fell completely flat on the pacing and the storytelling, those were awfully done. They were awfully handled.
Oh yeah,
Great
after
stories.
it's episode 22, I think, when sorry, spoilers. When Faye leaves.
Yeah.
When Edward leaves.
Cowboy Bebop's been around since
Yeah.
the 90s, guys.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
96.
I think that's
whatever.
enough time.
When Edward leaves, which is 22, 21, 22, something like that. I don't remember. The narrative kind of falls apart. You can see that. You can really plainly see that the narrative falls apart as the characters leave and as they focus more on Spike's story with Vicious and with Julia. as they focus on that. The narrative.
Yeah,
falls
because
apart.
like everything falls away, and like to me, like that was one of like the sad points of the story because you had built up so much with these other side characters, like where you could have done a lot with them, and then
And they
they
did
cut
nothing.
back to
Yeah, they
Spike
just-
and Vicious and Julia, and while that was an interesting storyline, at that point, the way that they had been building the narrative, that's not what I cared about.
Exactly.
Like, I cared a lot at this point about Faye and Spike as characters themselves. And while we
However,
necessarily get the resolve to both of them, like, it just wasn't enough for me. In the way that they presented it, it could have been done better.
Exactly. The thing I cared about the most was how they interacted with each other. I didn't give a shit about Vicious and Spike and
Like,
Julia.
the thing with, like, Spike and Faye was that I didn't even ship them.
Yeah,
Like,
oh no, not at all.
barely.
Not at all. They
Like,
hate
but
each other.
their character dynamic together as like two different characters that had to interact with like kind of being involved in like the same storylines and like the same like cases in some ways, like
Mhm.
it was interesting.
Exactly.
And then when they kind of like cut Faye out of Spike's storyline, that kind of like died for me a little bit.
It felt like Spike's character suffered as a result of his lack of interaction with Faye.
Exactly, but at the same time, like while Faye was totally resolved for me, they were doing
Yeah.
so much with Spike's character, and I respected everything that they were doing for Spike's
Oh, of
character,
course,
but it just
of course.
was not handled the right way.
Which is why the movie, I felt, was a much better product than the last
I haven't seen the
5
movie.
episodes. The movie's great. The movie's fantastic. It takes place before Edward leaves. Just any time before Edward leaves. It's so good.
It's an individual story, yeah.
And you know what makes me sad
everything that
about
was
You're
good
supposed to
Bebop?
watch it between like episodes 22 and 23 or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
whenever Ed leaves, before Ed leaves,
Yeah, like right
it
before.
takes
Yeah.
place there. And
The
it's
thing that
just
makes me
fantastic.
sad about Bebop in general is that a lot of people will go on to compare Shampoo and Bebop. And I'm like,
yeah, and that's the problem I ran into is that
and
I watched them.
it's a bad comparison because like the stories are
They're
totally different and the
so-
characters are totally different. But at the same time, I understand the comparison because like the only thing that makes Shampoo better than Bebop to me is the fact that the characters were stuck with and given a complete arc, and I didn't feel like that ever happened with the Bebop characters. Because if the Bebop characters would have been given the ample amount of screen time that they needed for their arcs and handled in the way that it needed to be handled, in a similar way to how Shampoo handles its character arcs,
it would have
it
been
would have been fantastic.
And that's the problem I ran into is when I watched Shampoo, I watched it like maybe 2 or 3 series in between the two. And
Exactly.
to this
Like
day,
Shampoo
still have a
came way
negative-
later for me.
Yeah. I have a negative impression of Shampoo. To this day, I haven't rewatched it. I can't.
See,
I
for me,
hated it.
like I watched Bebop
hated it
first,
so
and I
much.
know, and I loved the characters in Bebop, but I hated
Exactly.
the story setup. And then when I watched Shampoo, I didn't really love the characters as much as I loved the characters in Bebop, but the story setup and how there was an overarching plot to despite like that episodic feel of each episode, because I mean we had a fucking baseball episode for God's sake in Shampoo.
Yeah.
Like, it just seemed to handle itself better for Shampoo. So, like, that's when people ask me, like, do you prefer Bebop or Shampoo? I'm like, I prefer Shampoo. And it's
think-
just because, like, even though I care for those characters more in Bebop, and characters will always be the most important point
Of course.
of a story for me, it's just, like, Shampoo handled them better, so I feel like I got more out of the characters I was given.
And I guess what I loved most about Bebop was the individual stories more so than the overarching anything.
But I feel like if you're going to
And
tell
not
a
only that, but also just
story-
the sheer variety in the different. I mean, not just in the different narratives they used in their different episodes, but like in the different ways of shooting the episodes, you know, and all that. It was just they had so
I mean,
much variety.
Faye's backstory was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
that
was
episode
rough.
was great. The Piero LeFou episode was great.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
trying
a-
to think.
The mushrooms episode was just
That one
fantastic.
was weird as fuck, and in terms of like the storyline, I
Makes
hate
no sense.
it.
Which one?
Yeah, in
Which
terms
one?
of the storyline, I hate it. The mushroom one.
Yeah, the mushroom episode
Oh,
makes
yeah.
no sense within the entire narrative of the story.
Yeah,
Makes
no,
no
like
sense.
I hated that episode in terms of where it stood for like
It
the
was
general
the
plot, but as watching it as
definition of
something
filler.
on its own.
Yeah, it was the
I
definition
loved
of
it.
filler. Yeah. If you take it completely out and just watch it, it's hilarious. Within the series, it's the definition of filler and it's awful. but I still love it. It's still my favorite episode.
See, it's not my favorite episode because I will always like fall in love with like Faye's character arc. So like her episodes are my favorite, but in terms of like something that was just fun out of the entire series, like foregoing how I feel about any of the characters, like that was a great episode. But
That
I
one
hated
and,
it in its placement and everything, like where it was in the story. I hated it.
The other
Another one
episode
I
was
liked was
the,
Toys in the Attic. That was the one that was the Alien spin-off. It was just
That
an
was a good
example.
one.
Oh yeah, was that the where they find out it's from the fridge? That one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was.
I thought that
another
was
good
the
one.
mushroom episode.
No, they're two separate episodes.
No, yeah,
Man.
those are two. Yeah, that's
A lot of shit goes on with that fridge and
You know,
Bebop.
thinking back on it, the reason that I might have the most issues with Shampoo versus Bebop is that Steve Bloom voices Mugen and he voices Spike. And I think that
Yeah.
draws like a direct
Good
comparison
voice actor,
between
good
the two.
voice actor, but
Like,
bad comparison because
it's
they
like
are two
it
different
draws a direct
characters.
comparison, and you can't compare the two because they're so disparate from each other.
No, they are very different
So
characters.
I think I just need to rewatch Shampoo.
Watch Shampoo
and
sub.
avoid. Yeah. Well, Summer
Shampoo is fun to take your time with.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Bebop is the kind
I
of
need to
show
watch
that
it
you
again.
can't take your time with as much as you want to because
Yeah.
like you love those characters so much so quickly. And then so you're just trying to like watch through Bebop to like find out what's going on with these characters. But there's so much space in between all of like the plot driven episodes, I would say, like that it makes it so hard to watch Bebop. Because you're like, I want to know what's going on with these characters, what happened to them, why my little kiddos are so sad and in space and being so unhappy. Like, why are my kiddos so sad? And then you go into Bebop and you're like, I'm not going to know until like it's absolutely necessary for me to know.
Yeah, they kind of.
I think a lot of it has to do with what you want out of it going in too. You know,
True.
like.
And the weird
Like-
thing about Bebop is like I went into it with no expectations. Like I had no expectations of Bebop. All I knew was that it was like a pretty much like a staple for the anime community.
Yeah, I went into it with people saying this will probably be the best anime you ever watch.
Yeah, like
but
Bebop's
I
always
kinda
gonna be
just-
known.
Yeah, I kind of just went in like, I'll just watch it and see what I get.
Exactly.
And I mean, to this day, is still one of my favorite anime. I mean,
Bebop has
Yeah,
a
it's still in
special
my top
place in
five.
my heart.
it's probably bottom of my top 5, but it's still in my top 5.
It's almost like Ava for me. It's like Ava is in its own separate category because it does have a special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bebop for me is somewhere in my top 20. It's really good.
I
Mhm.
mean, same idea for like Fate Stay Night 06 for me. I love the series. I can recognize that it has a lot of problems, but it's
Fate Stay Night 06. I had a lot of fun with that series, but it is very problematic.
I appreciate it for getting me introduced to Type Moon.
Exactly.
I appreciate it for getting me back into anime along with Bakemonogatari. Those
See,
two
I
series
got
are
back
my
into
top
anime
favorite.
from
because
like
it's because
getting
of Fate
back
Stay
into
Night 06
Korra.
that I have 2 of my other top 10
Mhm.
series.
You're talking Fate Zero and Carnival
Carnival.
Phantasm? Oh, fair enough. Carnival Phantasm is lovely, but you have to have watched a lot of Type Moon for it to be hilarious.
No,
Okay,
if
I
you-
got
if you
back
watch a
into
lot of Type
anime
Moon, no,
during
it's
that,
fantastic. Carnival Phantasm is
So good.
fucking
That
funny
OP,
as shit. If you
that
yeah.
OP, super
The OP is
affection.
amazing.
Oh,
I need to watch that show.
Lou, I think you'd love it. It's fucking crazy. Like, just don't try and rationalize it. Just sit there with a beer and just let it wash over you.
What
It's
what Type Moon
Oh.
properties do I need to watch before?
Well, it's not
Primarily
really
Fate
watch.
Stay Night.
It's not really watch is the problem because
be familiar
it's
with Fate Stay Night and, I mean,
Tsukihime.
really, Tsukihime
Fate-
to a lesser extent.
It's Fate is the biggest
Yeah,
influence,
and then
and it's
Tsukihime-
just a bunch of skits. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of skits. You can skip
Mhm.
around if you want. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it touches on Tsukihime very lightly.
Oh,
I own Tsukihime, so I might as well watch it. even though I
No,
hear
don't.
bad
Do not
things.
watch the Tsukihime anime. Do not.
Hey, whoa,
the
I'm going to
worst
disagree
thing.
with you. I kind of liked it.
No.
I kind of liked it. I mean, I've read the manga, and the manga's better. But, like, I kind of like the anime for what it was.
I
For
know
what it was.
I know that once I read the Tsukihime visual novel, which I'm going to after I finish Fate Stay Night, I'll hate it even more.
So in another like 3 months, because the FSN
That's
visual novel
being
takes
generous. In
forever.
another like 3 years.
Like I did like the intro to FSN, and I'm like, I just don't have 100 hours. I don't
It's a
have the
lot.
time for this.
I know it's just so much time. Yeah.
I don't have 100 hours to read this as much as I want to. I don't have it.
Oh, and I really just want to get. I want to get to Heaven's Feel, and
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna just skip the Fate route and UBW just because I've seen the animes for each, because I want to actually read them and determine how they were adapted, or just see how they were.
From my understanding, the Fate route that was done by Dean is kind of a fusion of all three.
It is.
And the UBW,
No, I mean the
UBW
part.
route.
No, I know a lot of the specifics in '06 that
Mhm.
aren't in, and a lot of the stuff with Sakura and a lot of the stuff with Archer are not in the
Because they're
Fate
fused
route.
from Blade Works and from Heaven's Feel.
No, exactly. And UBW from the Ufotable UBW, from what I understand, is pretty stuck
Pretty
to
spot on.
Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it felt like it from what I understand.
No. Well, I mean,
And-
they did cut some stuff out, but
Well, of course,
it didn't.
they're gonna cut a bunch
They
of
had
stuff
to.
out.
They had to, yeah. But it didn't cut into Fate or Heaven's Feel, but it. There's a lot of purists out there, who want a line for line adaptation, and I'm just
The
you're never gonna get
problem
that. I
is-
mean,
It's
the
not
closest thing
fucking
you're ever gonna get.
possible.
Yeah, sure. Let's do a
Prologue.
line for line adaptation of Heaven's Feel. 14 movies later, we're still not
It's
done.
the same argument
Exactly.
for people that want fucking line by line adaptations of books to movies and
That's not a
Hollywood
fucking.
cinema.
That's not an adaptation.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
it's mofos. I get the same feeling because of someone who likes source material and wants adaptations to be good. You ain't gonna get that with any
No,
adaptation
you
because it's
literally can't.
unrealistic.
Yeah, you want a translation, not an adaptation, and that's not feasible. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm sorry to be that jackass.
It's like,
It's totally
motherfucker,
different
there needs
mediums.
to be a middleman looking at the source material and then making this movie. That's how it works.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what? These 12 chapters, this 15 hours, this doesn't mean anything. We can represent this in 10 minutes, with a little bit of visual storytelling. It's not that we don't need this, or it's just entirely unimportant.
Well, and
You don't need
especially
this.
especially with Fate, there's so much exposition.
Like I mentioned, it's a
Visual novel.
100+ hour visual novel for all three routes. You can't possibly adapt it. It's just. It's
Oh
not,
my God!
or, sorry,
If they
translate.
line for line didn't no, if they translated it completely, it would be into an anime. It would be horrible.
I told you it'd be 14+ movies for Heaven's Feel, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't even be finished, and we'd all hate it.
Now,
Because
granted, they
about
can't do
6 of
Heaven's
those
Feel in a
movies-
single movie, and if they do, it won't be good.
It's gonna be at least 3. It has to be at least 3. There's just no way
Yeah.
around it.
And I guess what are you saying? 3 2 hours or 3 1 hours?
Probably 3 2-hour movies.
Yeah, to do it the best.
4
I would-
hour and a
that's what
half.
I would
I mean,
say.
I can see 4.5 to 6 hours necessary
Yeah.
to do all
No, I
Heaven's
agree.
Feel. With a
And I
lot
guess
of
it also
heavy
depends.
editing, and
Yeah.
that's also with the way that Dean did the Blade Works movie, which is say up to the split. Here's what happened, in 5 minutes. Just
Oh
assume-
yeah, no, they jumped. Yeah, they cut the entire prologue,
Jeff,
the
have you
entire
watched
like
the Ava
first 5
rebuilds
episodes.
yet?
What?
Did you watch any of the Ava rebuilds yet?
I haven't. No, I wanted to take a.
Well, the first Ava rebuild movie is basically the first 12 episodes of the show, put into an hour and a half, and it doesn't work very well.
No, that never does usually. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
that's the reason why I don't like a lot of the rebuilds for Ava is because the pacing is just so shitty. Because you get in the first rebuild, you get literally the first 12 episodes shoved into this hour and a half long movie, and then in the second movie of the rebuilds, you get this character that completely ruins the character development of Asuka.
Are you referring to Mari?
Yes. Mari ruins everything.
Well,
Mari makes no sense.
Are we talking about literal trash?
Yes.
she.
Mari is literal trash.
I don't want to go into Mari because she's a complicated.
She's a
addition-
complicated character, and I will not lie
Yeah.
when I say that I have read some internet or interesting character analyses of Mari.
But her
As a character, interesting, but in terms of how she appears in canon
and how she
I don't
affects the
know.
series, yeah,
and how she affects the series, I don't know.
I mean, it's the same problem with the Studio Dean Blade Works movie. They condensed all of the first 3 days of the visual novel, which is like 15 hours, 20 hours, something like 15, 20, something like that, plus all of the Blade Works.
Exactly. I mean, even with skipping
like,
all that they did,
it's 90 minutes.
they
No,
still didn't have a
sorry,
chance to do it.
It's 75 minutes, and they cram all of Blade Works into that. And
Yeah,
it is a
hell no.
fucking train
It was so
wreck.
rushed.
It
It was
is
horrible. It was basically just fan service to all the visual novel readers because you got to see your action scenes animated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Albeit
It was the
animated
action
pretty
scenes
poorly
and
since it was
nothing.
Dean.
Like, I watched it, and I liked it because I love Fate Stay Night. But upon rewatching it, I rewatched it with a sister's friend a long time ago, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's how I felt when I
unwatchable
watched
trash.
the rebuilds, though. Like, you have to understand, like, Goat Jesus and I watched the rebuilds together. And that was because I met Goat Jesus at a time where I had seen Ava for the first time. He had seen Ava for years and had loved it. Like, at this point that we met. Like, it's weird now because we both have kind of, like, grown with Ava together in a weird way, but he was like, Allie, I'm going to make you watch the rebuilds. And I was like, Michael, I don't want to watch the rebuilds. Like, I don't want to watch them at this point. And he was like, but you have to, as an Ava fan, you have to. So I sat down and watched the first rebuild. And that took me the entire time. Like, I was sitting there at my chair and I was just like, why the fuck do you think I can watch this? And then they wanted to watch the second one right after, and I was like, I can't. So I put it off for a month and then watched the second rebuild. And I was like, this is just getting worse with each one I watch. Like, I can't do it.
It goes like this, and then about a quarter way through the second, I believe it does like this, if I recall.
And then the last
this,
one was just like, yeah, it was like straight down.
And there's just
And
like
in my head,
90-degree angle
in
off.
my
and
head,
I
like,
still
We had
haven't
had
seen
discussion.
3.33.
we had
Oh,
had discussions
Lou,
about how
you are
like,
not
they
ready
would
for
redeem.
3.33.
3.33 is something.
They should have called
It's
3.33.
something.
You cannot repair. You cannot prepare.
Yeah, you know, you can't. Like, literally, I just like to call
Like-
it gay piano because that's all 3.3 is the gay piano scene.
I watched 3.3 like. I watched 2.2 basically when it came out, and I watched 3.3 when it came out in Japan. I fucking had no idea what was going on because I haven't watched the original Ava films, the original Ava series at all. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I like miss something?
See, and I feel bad for you
like,
because
is there
like
another movie?
Misato's character and Asuka's character make entirely no sense. Rei's character is kind of iffy, and Shinji's character is kind of shit upon.
I was like, did I just like smoke some really good weed for movie 2.27 where they explain this shit? Like,
Someone just commented that Ava 3.33 is the best of the rebuilds, and I totally understand.
okay, as a standalone,
As
yes.
a standalone, sure.
If you take them in a vacuum and you watch 1, 2, and 3.
Exactly. If they are their own pieces of artwork, then sure.
Yes.
Because I will personally argue that like Misato's character development in the rebuilds is, while different from the originals, is still quite important, but that is the only character that I can necessarily make that argument for. Personally. I don't necessarily think that a lot of the other characters, like, development is as important in the rebuilds as it is in the original series. But no. I don't know, the rebuilds are just like, I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings.
And again, having not seen the original series, I can see where you're coming from. But I haven't seen... I watched the first, I think, 7 episodes of the original series. And I hadn't come back to them because that was all my friend owned at the time, was the first 2 DVDs.
Is that like right before Asuka's introduced or right after?
That's like right after Asuka's introduced. And then apparently everything goes batshit and just like sideways.
No, a lot of shit goes batshit like after the 4th episode. Because like I remember when I watched the original series that like the 4th episode was it for me. That was when I got really hooked.
I also started watching it at like 14.
I was
And
17, so like yeah,
and
there's
I
a
was
difference.
I don't really feel like coming back to this. I'll go like
When
do
I was
whatever
17, I was depressed enough that it worked.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing at 14. I don't remember.
Like, the weird thing with Ava is that, like, people don't understand that you're not gonna get it if you haven't reached a certain point of sadness in your life. Like, it's really funny to me, like, meeting people that are like, I don't know how to watch Ava. And I'm like, well, you obviously haven't been sad enough, and I think that means that I shouldn't tell you that you should have to watch Ava. I think I should be happy that you haven't needed to. Just so you know.
Alright, guys. Well, it is almost 3 a.m. here, so I think we should
Yeah, we've been
wrap
going
up.
for like 3, almost 4 hours.
Yeah. Man, I had no idea. I'm pouring
Shit,
another
man, we got
shot.
way too into
We
this.
should do another live stream sometime soon.
I've had a great
Agreed.
time.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yep.
This was a lot of fun.
Alright, so we
And
had
just for full disclosure, guys, we did this instead of recording an episode
Yeah.
because this is
Yeah, because we couldn't get 4 people, even though there's 4 people in this call that are
Yeah,
part of the
but-
podcast. But we couldn't get the 4 people we were going to do this with.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
We're
The way
working
that
on.
we're structuring our episodes and everything like that. Nothing was working.
Like I have all my notes for my part.
no,
of
the
it,
thing is
but
we
I
have
just, like,
the thing is we have multiple episodes already recorded. It's just due to certain circumstances, there's a delay in the editing.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
So like this isn't going to substitute for an episode. There'll be another episode coming out probably sometime during the week, maybe next weekend.
This was just more for fun. Yeah, exactly. We're just like
No,
yeah,
there's a lot less preparation involved in doing this than
than doing an actual podcast because
Yeah, I mean, the thing with podcasts is that they just don't happen. Like, this
spoiler,
kind of thing
guys,
was...
it doesn't just they
this
don't just
kind of
occur.
thing right now that we're doing as a live stream for you is, like, really random and really nice because, like, this has just worked out so well for us.
We just
When
sat
it
here
comes
and
down to
drank
getting
and talked about
podcasts
shit.
online, yeah, when it comes down to getting podcasts online, we've sat down and done podcasts where, like, nothing happens. And that's mostly just due to, like, timing, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah, if we haven't watched anything in a week, there's nothing to talk about. So recording a podcast is tricky.
We are busy
Sorry for
people
the
with
sorry for the
career
behind the
goals.
scenes, guys. Sorry to make it a little too real.
A little too real.
I mean,
Too real.
at least 2 of us work a 40-hour-a-week job. I think Lou works like a 60-hour-a-week job.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I'm
fuck
a
that.
40-hour-ish.
I go to school full time. Like,
Exactly. Like it's just we
college
can't just-
sucks.
Yeah, we can't just. I mean, normally I'd be in college and working full time, which makes my life impossible. But we can't just crap out an episode as much as we would love to.
Yeah, it's quality control, guys.
But at the same time, there's a lot of good quality content coming out of us. Like, I'm very happy with everything that we've seen.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
As someone who's worked on other projects with other people, like, you guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for a treat.
I'm not gonna entirely spoil content of one episode that we did, but there might be something involving a certain variety of things, and we'll leave it at that.
A certain variety of things, like me with
Literally,
lampshades.
literally. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Sounds good. All right. So from everyone at the Anime Association, my name is Lewis. With me today has been Ali, Random,
Hi.
Yo.
Jack, and
What's up?
our guest Sarah. So yeah, thanks for watching, and
I think
we'll see you in
Sarah's
the next
busy.
one.
Busy
Yeah.
reading.
Sarah is just like...
Sarah, happy
um,
21st birthday. Welcome to being.
Yeah, we're gonna wish
Vaguely
our
an
friend
adult.
Sarah
Happy
happy
birthday.
21st.
You,
Thank you
if you're
for
ever
reading
over on-
Yowie while
Thank
we're
you for
in our
existing.
stream.
I love you.
if you're ever over on my coast, I'll buy you an adult beverage.
Sounds good.
Ah,
Sarah,
she's
I
alive.
love you for existing.
You're alive?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
I just get quiet, guys. Don't worry about me.
She lets us talk.
It's just
All
like
right.
it's just I like listening to people have conversations.
It's like people watching,
Yeah.
but like with your ears.
So people hearing.
Yeah.
Hashtag people hearing.
People
All right, guys.
hearing.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.